meeting on Zoom. And I think I was talking with somebody today, and that what this is like it's an open rehearsal, you know, a chance to really sort of explore the text, have fun with it, take chances, find out, think what you think it means, and then find out it may mean something else. So that's part of what's the fun of Instant Shakespeare, which is just sort of going with the text and seeing where it will take you.
Paul, I need your help. My internet's really freezing, so I just want somebody to know.
Okay, so yeah, I will. Yeah, we'll be aware of that. Yeah, that's a good thing to remember, because we do have these issues, you know, when we're on Zoom and
Was that Vicky?
We actually, our whole office tanked today on the east side. So with the rains, it's just being really odd.
Okay.
I was just about to tell you that message that Vicky called me and said, please alert everybody, she may be in and out and she'll try to fix it. Yeah.
Well, I can't fix the wires, but
you know, we had a power failure on the Upper West Side the other day.
that's the thing. We have trees knocked down.
Anyway.
I know, it stinks. I hope it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, no,
all right.
That is one of the challenges, especially when you're doing things with incorporating people from all over the place with different sorts of issues. And I mean, as we do this, if there are things where we lose a connection, what I would encourage people to do is just to go off and try and come back as soon as we can. As soon as you can, I'll sometimes sort of stop and sort of technical difficulties. Please stand by and give you some. Yes, Ben, you had a question?
I can't seem to find the button I use to minimize.
Get down.
Minimize
Get in your spot. Go down.
To minimize this screen so that it's just a small box that I can move around. Does anybody know how to do that?
Generally, what I find is that it's like if you put your cursor in like a corner or something and hold it down and move it up and down. That's how I resize screens. But I'm working on a Mac, so.
Anybody else know? There's a way to make it really small, so it's all you get is like, you know, this tiny.
There's a little dash in the upper right-hand corner.
Got it, did it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Carl.
Great.
You're welcome.
And I can put that here, and when I talk to the actors, it'll look like I'm going.
Yes. Yes. So, so in any event, yes, welcome. This is the Instant Shakespeare Company. We've been doing readings of all of Shakespeare's plays every year since 2000. And I just also want to encourage people just to sort of Zoom things if you're talking and you shouldn't be sharing it with everybody.
It won't allow my.
Earl, you having some difficulty with the mute?
Hey, I'm having problems.
What happened? We can see you.
I've lost my volume for some reason.
Hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah,
but I can't hear you.
To the top of your head there, but
almost. Well, I've just moved my cameras all, but
you'll get it back. You might have to go in and come out again. Can you hear us? You can't hear.
It says now. Say something.
Hello, Ernie.
That fixed it for now.
Yeah, okay, all right. So yeah, just as the sort of general protocol of the way we do these things. When you're in the scene, you have your video on, and if you're speaking, you're unmuted. When you're not in the scene, please mute yourself and stop your video, so that way we're broadcasting it through gallery view, and and that way that we just see the people who are in the scene. Stephen, you have your hand up. Are you having issues getting your video on, or?
I have no video.
You have no video?
No.
And
I don't even know how to switch it on.
Did you? Okay, Stephen.
Yes.
You're looking at your box, right? If you go to the thing.
What is my box?
You see a box that says your name on it, Hellenist Stephen?
Yes.
Okay. Go slide your cursor to the top of that box, to the upper right hand, and you will see a little blue box with 3 dots, or I don't know what color your box. A little box with 3 dots. Click that on.
Yes.
Now, in there, you will see hide non-video or start video.
No, it says hide non-video or hide self.
All right.
Yeah, there isn't down with the mic on the lower left-hand corner of your Zoom.
Yeah, there you go. Go to the lower left-hand corner of the whole screen.
You have the
and press that arrow there, and that arrow will say start video, start vid.
No, there's no arrow.
Is there a picture of a little microphone and a little icon of a video camera?
Yes.
Yeah.
Click the camera.
Okay, so click on the one of the video camera.
There we go.
Here we go.
Hello!
Hey!
Voila!
Hello, gorgeous.
Okay.
So that's what it is, and that's the idea. Is that if you turn it off when you're not in the scene, you'll just see the people who are in the scene. So that's the idea behind this. Just as a sort of final, just sort of mic and picture check, if each of us could introduce ourselves, and then after we've all introduced ourselves, if Michael, if you want to say anything before we begin, or we could get started with this. My name's Paul Sugarman. And then after you introduce yourself, stop your video. My name is Paul Sugarman. I'm the founder of the Instant Shakespeare Company, and tonight I will be reading Ulysses.
I'm Michael E. Gardner, playmaster for this extraordinary play with my mouth full. I promise to swallow. And I'm doing Pandarus and Diomedes. Oh, I don't even know how to pronounce my other name. Diomedes. How are
Diomedes.
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 Greek. Okay, thank you.
I'm Lila Smith. I'm reading Cressida.
And I'm Alex Chilton. I'll be reading Troylus.
I'm Bennett Pology. I'll be Hector and the prologue.
Hi, my name is Julie Kirshner, and I'm going to be playing Agamemnon.
I'm Evan. Go ahead.
I'm Carl Fortunato. I will be playing Achilles.
I'm Evan, he, him. I will be playing Patroclus and a bastard.
A fellow bastard. I'm Earl Levine, and I'll be playing Thersites.
That's a fun part.
And also a bastard.
I'm Leia Schwartz. I'm playing Helen of Troy and a boy at some point.
Kenneth Wayne. I'm playing the one with the horns, Menelaus, and various other parts.
Stephen Brown, Helenus, and Priam, and Calchas.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dan Burkhardt, portraying the roles of Paris and Ajax.
Hi, I'm Jackie Margolis, and I'm playing Nestor and Cassandra.
Okay. I guess everyone has introduced themselves. Then this is the Instant Shakespeare Company. I'll also be reading most of the stage directions. This is the tragedy of Troylus and Cressida, prologue.
In Troy, there lies the scene. From the isles.
What's happening?
From the isles of Greece, the Princess Orgilius, their high blood chafed, have to the port of Athens sent their ships, fraught with the ministers and instruments of cruel war. 69 that wore their crowns regal from the Athenian bay, put forth towards Phrygia, and their vow is made to ransack Troy, within whose strong immures the ravished Helen, Menelaus' queen, with wanton Paris sleeps.
Did you try to scroll for me?
And that's the quarrel.
Yeah, the whole time. Where is he?
Is somebody, is it okay? Can you hear me?
I can't.
Yes, please.
I can hear you just fine.
I'm just hearing a lot of noise. To Tenedos they come, and the deep drawing bark do there disgorge their warlike frontage. Now on Dardan plains the fresh and yet unbruised Greeks do pitch their brave pavilions. Priam's six-gated city, Dardan and Timbria, Helios, Catus, Troyan, and Antononidas, with massy staples and corresponsive and fulfilling bolts, stir up the sons of Troy. Now, expectation tickling skittish spirits on one and other side, Troyan and Greek, sets all on hazard. and hither am I come. A prologue armed, but not in confidence of author's pen or actor's voice, but suited in like conditions as our argument, to tell you, fair beholders, that our play leaps o'er the vaunt and firstlings of these broils, beginning in the middle, starting thence away to what may be digested in a play. Like or find fault, do as your pleasures are, now good or bad, 'tis but the chance of war.
Actus primus, scena prima. Enter Pandarus and Troylus.
Oh, here, my varlet. I'll unarm again. Why should I war without the walls of Troy that find such cruel battle here within? Each Trojan that is master of his heart, let him to the field. Troylus, alas, hath none.
Will this gear ne'er be mended?
The Greeks are strong and skillful to their strength, fierce to their skill and to their fierceness valiant. But I'm weaker than a woman's tear, tamer than sleep, fonder than ignorance, less valiant than the virgin in the night, and skillless as unpracticed infancy.
Well, I have told you enough for this. For my part, I'll not meddle nor make no further. He that will have a cake out of the wheat must needs tarry the grinding.
Have I not tarried?
Aye, the grinding, but you must tarry the bolting.
Have I not tarried?
Aye, the bolting, but you must tarry the leavening.
Still have I tarried.
Aye, to the leavening, but here's yet in the word hereafter, the kneading, the making of the cake, the heating of the oven, and the baking. Nay, you must stay the cooling too, or you may chance to burn your lips.
Patience herself, what goddess ere she be, doth lesser blench its sufferance than I do. At Priam's royal table do I sit, and where fair Cressida comes into my thoughts, so traitor then she comes when she's thence.
Well, she looked yesternight fairer than ever I saw her look, or any woman else.
I was about to tell thee, when my heart, as wedged with a sigh, would rive in twain, lest Hector or my father should perceive me, I have as when the sun doth light a storm, buried this sigh in wrinkle of a smile. But sorrow that is couched in seeming gladness is like that mirth fate turns to sudden sadness.
And her hair were not somewhat darker than Helen's. Well, go to. There were no more comparison between the women. But for my part, she is my kinswoman. I would not, as they term it, praise it, but I would somebody had heard her talk yesterday as I did. I will not dispraise your sister Cassandra's wit, but she...
Oh, Pandarus, I tell thee, Pandarus, when I do tell thee, there my hopes lie drowned. Reply not how many fathoms deep they lie drenched. I tell thee, I'm mad in Cressida's love. Thou answerest that she is fair, pourest in the open ulcer of my heart, her eyes, her hair, her cheek, her gait, her voice. Handlest in thy discourse. Oh, that her hand, in whose comparison all whites are ink, writing their own reproach, to whose soft seizure the signets down is harsh, and spirit of sense hard as the palm of plowman. This thou tell'st me, as true thou tell'st me, when I say I love her. But saying thus, instead of oil and balm, thou layest in every gash that love hath given me, the knife that made it.
I speak no more than truth.
Let us not speak much.
Faith, I'll not meddle in it. Let her be as she is. If she be fair, 'tis the better for her. If she be not, she has the men's in her own hands.
Good Pandarus. How now, Pandarus?
Because she's kin to me, therefore she's not so fair as Helen. If she were not kin to me, she would be as fair on Friday as Helen is on Sunday. But what care I? I care not. I care not if she were a blackamoor, 'tis all one to me.
Say I she is not fair?
I do not care whether you do or no. She's a fool to stand behind her father, stay behind her father. Let her to the Greeks, and so I'll tell her the next time I see her. For my part, I'll meddle no more nor more in the matter.
Pandarus.
Pray no more to me. I will leave all that as I found it. And there's an end.
Peace, you ungracious clamors. Peace, rude sounds. Fools on both sides. Helen must needs be fair when, with your blood, you daily paint her thus. I cannot fight upon this argument. It is too starved a subject for my sword. But, Pandris, O gods, how do you plague me? I cannot come to Cressida but by pander. And he's as tetchy to be wooed to woo, as she is stubborn, chaste against all suit. Tell me, Apollo, for thy Daphne's love, what Cressida is, what pander, and what we. Her bed is India, there she lies, a pearl between our Ilium and where she resides. Let it be called the wild and wandering flood, ourself the merchant, and this slaying pander our doubtful hope, our convoy and our bark.
Alarum, enter Aeneas.
How now, Prince Troylus? Wherefore not afield?
Because not there. This woman's answer sorts. For womanish it is to be from thence. What news, Aeneas, from the field today?
What news?
That Paris has returned home and hurt. By whom, Aeneas?
Troylus by Menelaus.
Let Paris bleed. 'Tis but a scar to scorn. Paris is gored with Menelaus' horn.
Alarum.
What good sport is out of town today?
Better at home, if I would I might were May, but to the sport abroad. Are you bound thither?
In all swift haste?
Come, go we then together.
Exeunt. Enter Cressida and her man.
Who are those went by?
The Queen Hecuba and Helen,
And whither go they?
up to the eastern tower, whose height commands all subject all the vale to see the battle. Hector, whose patience is as a virtue fixed, today was moved. He chides Andromache, and struck his armorer, and like as there were husbandry and war before the sun rose, he was harnessed light, and to the field goes he, where every flower did as a prophet weep what it foresaw in Hector's wrath.
What was the cause of his anger?
The noise goes this. There is among the Greeks a lord of Trojan blood, nephew to Hector. They call him Ajax.
Good, and what of him?
They say he is a very man per se and stands alone.
So do all men, unless they are drunk, sick, or have no legs.
This man, lady, hath robbed many beasts of their particular additions. He is as valiant as the lion, churlish as the bear, slow as the elephant. A man into whom nature hath so crowded humors that his valor is crushed into folly. His folly sauced with discretion. There is no man hath a virtue that he hath not a glimpse of, nor any man an attaint, but he carries some stain of it. He is melancholy without cause and merry against the hair. He hath the joints of everything, but everything so out of joints that he is a gouty Briareus, many hands and no use, or purblinded Argus, all eyes and no sight.
But how should this man that makes me smile make Hector angry?
They say he yesterday coped Hector in the battle and struck him down. The disdain and shame whereof hath ever since kept Hector fasting and waking.
Enter Pandarus.
Who comes here?
Madam, your uncle Pandarus,
Hector's a gallant man.
as may be in the world, lady.
What's that? What's that?
Good morrow, Uncle Pandarus.
Good morrow, cousin Cressida. What do you talk of? Good morrow, Alexander. How do you, cousin? When were you at Ilium?
This morning, Uncle.
What were you talking of when I came? Was Hector armed and gone ere you came to Ilium? Helen was not up, was she?
Hector was gone, but Helen was not up.
Even so, Hector was stirring early.
That were we talking of, and of his anger.
Was he angry?
So he says here.
True he was so. I know the cause of it too. He'll lay about him today, I can tell them that. And as Troylus will not come far behind, let them take heed of Troylus. I can tell them that too.
What, is he angry too?
Oh, Troylus? Troylus is the better man of the two.
Oh, Jupiter, there's no comparison.
What? Not between Troylus and Hector. Do you know a man if you see him?
If I ever saw him before and knew him,
Well, I say Troylus is Troylus.
then you say as I say, for I am sure he is not Hector.
No. Hector is not Troylus in some degrees.
'Tis just. To each of them he is himself.
Himself? Alas, poor Troylus, I would he were.
So he is.
Condition I had gone barefoot to India.
He is not Hector.
Himself? No, he's not himself. Would he were himself, the gods above, time must friend her end. Well, Troylus, well, I would my heart were in her body. Now, Hector is not a better man than Troylus.
Excuse me.
He is elder.
Pardon me.
The other's not come to it. You shall see and tell another tale when the other comes to it. Hector shall not have his will this year.
He shall not need it if he have his own.
Nor his qualities.
No matter.
Nor his beauty.
'Twould not become him his own's better.
You have no judgment, niece. Helen herself swore the other day that Troylus for a brown favor, so just, I must confess, not brown either.
No, but brown.
Faith to say truth, brown and not brown.
To say the truth, true and not true.
She praised his complexion above Paris.
Why, Paris hath color enough.
So he has.
Then Troilus should have too much if she praised him above. His complexion is higher than his, he having color enough, and the other higher is too flaming a praise for a good complexion. I had as lieve Helenus' golden tongue had commended Troilus for a copper nose.
I swear to you, I think Helen loves him better than Paris.
Then she's a merry Greek indeed.
I'm sure she does. She came to him hither the other day into the compass window, and he has not passed 3 or 4 hairs on his chin.
Indeed, a tapster's arithmetic may soon bring his particulars there into a total.
He is very young, and yet will he within 3 pound lift as much as his brother Hector.
Is he so young a man and so old a lifter?
But to prove to you that Helen loves him, she came and puts her white hand to his cloven chin.
Juno have mercy, how came it cloven?
Well, 'tis dimpled. I think his smiling becomes it better than any man in all Phrygia.
Oh, he smiles valiantly.
Oh, does he not?
Oh, yes, and 'twere a cloud in autumn.
I go to then. But to prove to you that Helen loves Troylus.
Troilus will stand to thee proof if you'll prove it so.
Troylus? He esteems her no more than I esteem an addled egg.
If you love an addled egg as well as you love an idle head, you would eat chickens in the shell.
I cannot choose but to laugh to think how she tickled his chin. Indeed, she's a marvel white hand, I must needs confess.
Without the rack.
And she takes upon her to spy a white hair on his chin.
Alas, poor chin, many a ward is rich.
But there was such laughing. Queen Ichabod laughed and her eyes ran o'er.
With millstones.
Cassandra laughed.
But there was more tempered fire under the pot of her eyes. Did her eyes run o'er to...
And Hector laughed.
At what was all this laughing?
Oh, marry, at the white hand that Helen spied on Troilus' chin.
And had been a green hair, I should have laughed too.
They laughed not so much at the hair as at his pretty answer.
What was his answer?
Quoth she, here's but 52 hairs on your chin, and one of them is white.
This is her question.
That's true, make no question of that. 52 hairs, quoth he, and one white. That white hair is my father, and all the rest are his sons. Jupiter, quoth she, which of these hairs is Paris, my husband? The forked one, quoth he, pluck it out and give it to him. But there was such laughing, and Helen so blushed, and Paris so chaffed, and all the rest laughed. It passed.
So let it now, for it has been a great while going by.
Now, cousin, I told you a thing yesterday. Think on it.
So I does.
I'll be sworn 'tis true. He will weep you as 'twere a man born in April. Oh.
And I'll spring up in his tears and
Ah.
nettle against May.
They're coming. They're coming. They're coming from the field. Shall we stand here and see them? Come, we'll see them pass as they pass toward Ilium. Niece, do, sweet niece, Cressida.
At your pleasure.
Here's an excellent place. Here where we may see most bravely. I'll tell you them all by their names as they pass, but mark Troylus above the rest.
Enter Aeneas.
That's Aeneas. Is not that a brave man? He's one of the flowers of Troy, I can scan you.
Not so
Mark
loud.
Troylus, you shall see anon.
Who's that?
Enter Antenor.
That's Antenor. He is a shrewd wit, I can tell you. He's a man good enough. He's one of the soundest judgment in Troy whosoever, and a proper man of person. Then comes Troylus. I'll show you Troylus anon. If he sees me, you shall see him nod at me.
Will he give you the nod?
You shall see.
If you do, the rich shall have more.
Enter Hector.
That's Hector. That, look you there. There's a fellow. Go thy way, Hector. There's a brave man, niece. So brave, Hector. Look how he looks. There's a countenance. Not a brave man?
Oh, brave man.
Oh, is it not? Does a man's heart good. Look you what hacks are on his helmet. Look you yonder. Do you see? Look, do you see? There. No jesting, laying on. Take it off. Who will, as they say, there he be, hacks.
Be those with swords?
Enter
Swords, anything he cares not, and the devil come too. It's all one. By God's lid, it does one's good. Yonder comes Paris. Look at yonder, niece. It's not a gallant man too, it's not. This is brave now. Who said he came home hurt today? He's not hurt. This will do Helen's heart good now, huh? But I could see Troylus now. You shall see Troylus anon.
Who's that?
Enter Helenus.
That's Helenus. I marvel what Troylus is. That's Helenus. I think he went not forth today. That's Helenus.
Can Helenus fight, uncle?
Helenus, no. Yes, but he'll fight indifferent well. I marvel where Troylus is. Do you not hear the people cry, Troylus? Helenus is the priest.
What sneaking fellow comes yonder?
Enter
Troylus. That's Diphobus. It's Troylus! There's a man, niece, huh? Brave Troylus, the prince of chivalry.
Peace, for shame, peace.
Mark him, not him. Oh, brave Troylus, look well upon him, niece. Look how his sword is bloodied, and his helm more hacked than Hector's, and how he looks, how he goes. Oh, admirable youth. And he never saw 23. Oh, go thy way, Troylus, go thy way. And I, a sister, were a grace, or a daughter, or a goddess, he should take his choice. Oh, admirable man. Paris is dirt to him, and I warned Helen to change, would give money to boot.
Enter common soldiers.
Here come more.
Asses, fools, dolts, chaff and bran, porridge after meat. I could live and die in the eyes of Troylus. And there look, the eagles are gone, crows and daws. I had rather be such a man as Troylus than Agamemnon and all of Greece.
There is among the Greeks Achilles, a better man than Troylus.
Achilles, a gray man, a porter, a very camel.
Well.
Well. Why, have you any discretion? Have you any eyes? Do you know what a man is? Is not birth, beauty, good shape, discourse, manhood, learning, gentleness, virtue, youth, liberality, and so forth, the spice and salt that seasons a man?
Aye, a minced man, and then to be baked with no date in the pie, for then the man dates out.
You are such another woman. One knows not at what ward you may lie.
Upon my back to defend my belly. upon my wit to defend my wiles, upon my secrecy to defend mine honesty, my mask to defend my beauty, and you to defend all these. And all these wards I lie at 1,000 watches.
Say one of your watches.
Nay, I'll watch you for that, and that's one of the chiefest of them too. If I cannot ward what I would not have hit, I can watch you for telling how I took the blow. Unless it's well past hiding, then it's past watching.
Enter boy.
You were such another.
Sir, my lord would instantly speak with you.
Where?
At your own house.
Good boy. Tell him I come. Well, I doubt he'd be hurt. Fare you well, good niece.
Adieu, uncle.
I'll be with you, niece, by and by.
To bring, uncle.
A token from Troylus.
By the same token, you are a bawd.
Exit Pandarus.
Words, vows, gifts, tears, and love's full sacrifice he offers in another enterprise, but more in Troylus 1,000-fold I see than in the glass of Pandar's praise may be. Yet hold I off. Women are angels wooing, things won are done. Joyous soul lies in the doing that she beloved knows not that knows not this. Men prize the thing ungained more than it is. That she was never yet that ever knew love got so sweet as when desire did sue. Therefore this maxim out of love I teach. Achievement is command. Ungained, beseech. That though my heart's content firm love doth bear, nothing of that shall from mine eyes appear.
Exit. Senate. Enter Agamemnon, Nestor, Ulysses, Diomedes, Menelaus, with others.
Princes, what grief hath set the jaundice on your cheeks? The ample proportion that hope makes in all designs, begun on earth below, fails in this promised largeness. Checks and disasters grow in the veins of actions highest reared, as knots by the conflux of meeting sap infect the sound pine, and diverts his grain toward an errand from his course of growth. Nor, princes, is it matter new to us that we come short of our suppose so far, that after 7 years' siege, yet Troy walls stand. Sith every action that hath gone before, whereof we have record, trial to draw bias and thwart, not answering the aim, and that unbodied figure of the thought that gave surmise shape. Why then, you princes, do you with cheeks abashed behold our works and think them shame? Which are indeed naught else but the protracted trials of great Jove. To find persistent constancy in men, the fineness of which metal is not found in fortune's love for them, the bold and coward, the wise and fool, the artist and the unread, the hard and soft sing all affind in kin, but in the wind and tempest of her frown, distinction with a loud and powerful fan, puffing it all, winnows the light away. And what hath mass, or matter by itself, lies rich in virtue and unmingled.
With due observance of thy godly seat, greater man, Agamemnon, Nestor shall apply thy latest words in the reproof of chance. Lies the true proof of men, the sea being smooth, how many shallow bauble boats dare sail upon her patient breast, making their way with those of nobler bulk? But let the ruffian Boreas once enrage the gentle Thetis, and anon behold the strong ribbed bark through liquid mountains cut, bounding reach with the two most moist elements like pursues horse. Where's then the saucy boat whose weak untimbered sides, but even now co-rival greatness? either to harbor fled or made a toast for Neptune. Even so doth valor show in valor's worth divide in storms of fortune. For in her ray and brightness, the herd hath more annoyance by the breeze than by the tiger. When the spitting wind makes flexible the knees of knotted oaks and flies fled under shade, why then the thing of courage, as roused with rage doth sympathize, and with an accent turned in self-same key, retries to chiding fortune.
Agamemnon, thou great commander, nerve and bone of Greece, heart of our number, soul and only spirit, in whom the tempers and the minds of all should be shut up. Hear what Ulysses speaks, besides the applause and approbation, that which most mighty for thy place and sway, and thou most reverend for thy stretched out life, I give to both your speeches, which were such as Agamemnon in the hand of Greece should hold up high in brass, and such again as venerable Nestor, hatched in silver, should with a bond of air, strong as the axle tree in which the heavens ride, knit all Greek ears to his experienced tongue. Yet let it please both, thou great and wise, to hear Ulysses speak.
Speak, Prince of Ithaca, and be it of less expect. That matter needless of importuneless burden, divide thy lips. Then we are confident when rank Thersites opes his mastiff jaws, we shall hear muscle, wit, and oracle.
Troy, yet upon his basis and had been down, and the great Hector's sword had lacked a master but for these instances. The specialty of rule hath been neglected, and look how many Grecian tents do stand hollow upon this plain, so many hollow factions, when that the general is not like the hive, to whom the foragers shall all repair when honey is expected. Degree being visited, the unworthiest shows as fairly in the mask. The heavens themselves, the planets in this center, observe degree, priority, and place, insistissure, course, proportion, season, form, office, and custom in all line of order. And therefore is the glorious planet Sol in noble eminence, enthroned and sphered amidst the other, whose medicinable eye corrects the ill aspects of planets evil, and posts like the commandment of a king sends check to good and bad. But when the planets in evil mixture to disorder wander, what plagues and what portents, what mutiny, what raging of the sea, shaking of the earth, commotion of the winds, frights, changes, horrors, divert and crack, rend and deracinate the unity and married calm of states quite from their fixture. Oh, when degree is shaked, which is the ladder to all high desires, the enterprise is sick. How could communities, degrees in schools and brotherhoods in cities, peaceful commerce from dividable shores, the primogenitive and due of birth, prerogative of age, crowns, scepters, laurels, but by degree stand in authentic place? Take but degree away, untune that string and hark what discord follows. Each thing meets in mere oppugnancy. The bounded waters should lift their bosom higher than the shores and make a sop of all this solid globe. Strength should be lord of imbecility, and the rude son should strike his father dead. Force should be right, or rather right and wrong, between whose endless jar justice resides, should lose her name, and so should justice too. Then everything include itself in power, power into will, will into appetite, and appetite and universal wolf, so doubly seconded with will and power, must make perforce an universal prey, and last eat up himself. Great Agamemnon, this chaos, when degree is suffocate, follows the choking. And this neglection of degree is it that by a pace goes backward in a purpose it hath to climb. The general's disdained, by him one step below, he by the next, that next by him beneath. So every step exampled by the first, pace that is sick of his superior grows to an envious fever of pale and bloodless emulation. And 'tis the fever that keeps Troy on foot, not her own sinews. To end a tale of length, Troy in our weakness lives, not in her strength.
Most wisely hath Ulysses here discovered the fever whereof all our power is sick.
The nature of the sickness found Ulysses. What is the remedy?
The great Achilles, whom opinion crowns, the sinew and the forehand of our host, having his ear full of his airy fame, grows dainty of his worth, and in his tent lies mocking our designs. With him Patroclus, upon a lazy bed the livelong day, breaks scurrilous jests, and with ridiculous and awkward action, which slanderer he imitation calls, he pageants us. Sometimes great Agamemnon, thy topless deputation he puts on, and like a strutting player whose conceit lies in his hamstring, and doth think it rich to hear the wooden dialogue and sound twixt his stretched footing and the scaffoldage, such to be pitied and o'er-rested seeming, he acts thy greatness in. And when he speaks, 'tis like a chime amending, with terms unsquared, which from the tongues of roaring Typhon dropped, would seems hyperboles. At this fusty stuff, the large Achilles on his pressed bed lolling, from his deep chest laughs out a loud applause, cries, "Excellent! 'Tis Agamemnon just. Now play me Nestor, hum and stroke thy beard," as he, being dressed to some oration, that's done, as near as the extremest ends of parallels. As like as Vulcan and his wife, yet, God, Achilles still cries, "Excellent, 'tis Nestor right." Now play him me, Patroclus, aiming to answer in a night alarm, and then forsooth the faint defects of age must be the scene of mirth, to cough and spit, and with a palsy fumbling on his gorget, shake in and out the rivet, and at this sport, Sir Valor dies. Cries, "Oh, enough, Patroclus, or give me ribs of steel, I shall split all in pleasure of my spleen." And in this fashion, all our abilities, gifts, nature, shapes, several and generals, of graces exact, achievements, plots, orders, preventions, excitements to the field, or speech for truce, success or loss, what is or is not, serves as stuff for these two to make paradoxes.
And in the imitation of these twain, who, as Ulysses says, opinion crowns with an imperial voice, many are infect. Ajax is grown self-willed, and bears his head in such a rein, in full as proud a place as broad Achilles, and keeps his tent like him, makes factious feasts, rails on our state of war, bold as an oracle, and sets Thersites, a slave whose Gall coined slanders like a mint, to match us in comparisons with dirt, to weaken and discredit our exposure, how rank soever rounded it with danger.
They tax our policy and call it cowardice, count wisdom as no member of the war, forestall prescience and esteem no act but that of hand. The still and mental parts that do contrive how many hands shall strike, what fitness call them on, and know by measure of their observant toil the enemy's weight, why this hath not a finger's dignity. They call this bed work, mappery, closet war, so that the ram that batters down the wall for the great swing and rudeness of his poise they place before his hand that made the engine are those that with the fineness of their souls by reason guide his execution.
Let this be granted, and Achilles' horse makes many Thetis sons.
Tuck it.
Trumpet, look, Menelaus.
From Troy.
Enter Aeneas.
Would you for our tent?
Aeneas. Aeneas, is Aeneas there? Vicky was having some problems. It looks like Aeneas has, oh, let me see. There, sorry. Sorry about that. Here comes Aeneas now. Little delay, you know. Have to do additional checks on people these days. Enter Aeneas, have to do a temperature check.
What you for our tent?
Still didn't work, sorry. My bad.
This great Agamemnon's tent, I pray you.
Even this?
May one that is a herald and a prince do a fair message to his kingly ears.
surety stronger than Achilles' arm for all the Greekish heads, which with one voice call Agamemnon head and general.
Fair leave and large security. How may a stranger to those most imperial looks know them from eyes of other mortals?
How?
I ask that I may awaken reverence and on the cheek be ready with a blush, modest as morning when she coldly eyes a youthful Phoebus. Which is that god in office, guiding men? Which is the high and mighty Agamemnon?
This Troyan scorns us, or the men of Troy are ceremonious courtiers.
Courtiers as free as debonair, unarmed as bending angels. That's their fame. In peace, when they would seem soldiers, they have galls, good arms, strong joints, true swords, and Jove's accord, nothing so full of heart. But peace, Aeneas, peace, Troyan, lay thy finger on thy lips. The worthiness of praise disdains his worth. If that he praised himself, bring the praise forth. But what the repining enemy commands, that breath fame blows, that praise so pure transcends.
Sir, you of Troy, call you yourself Aeneas?
I Greek, that is my name.
What's your affair, I pray you?
Sir, pardon, 'tis for Agamemnon's ears.
He hears naught privately that comes from Troy.
Nor I from Troy come not to whisper him. I bring a trumpet to awake his ear, to set him sense on the attentive bent, and then to speak.
Speak frankly as the wind. It is not Agamemnon's sleeping hour. That thou shalt know, Troy, and he is awake. He tells thee so himself.
Trumpet, blow loud. Send thy brass voice through all these lazy tents, and every Greek of mettle let him know what Troy means fairly shall be spoke aloud.
The trumpet sound.
We have great Agamemnon here in Troy, a prince called Hector. Priam is his father, who in this dull and long continued truth is rusty grown. He bade me take a trumpet and to this purpose speak. Kings, princes, lords, if there be among the fairest of Greece that holds his honor higher than his ease, that seeks his praise more than he fears his peril, that knows his valor and knows not his fear, that loves his mistress more than in concession, with truant vows to her own lip he loves, and dare avow her beauty and her worth, and other arms than hers to him this challenge. Hector, in view of Trojans and of Greeks, shall make it good, or do his best to do it. He hath a lady wiser, fairer, truer than ever Greek did compass in his arms, and will tomorrow with his trumpet call midway between your tents and walls of Troy, to rouse a Grecian that is true in love. If any come, Hector shall honor him. If none, he'll say in Troy when he retires, the Grecian dames are sunburnt and not worth a splinter of a lance, even so much.
This shall be told our lover's lord Aeneas, if none of them have soul in such a kind. We left them all at home, but we are soldiers, and may that soldier a mere recreant prove that means not, hath not, or is not in love. If then one is or hath or means to be, that one meets Hector. If none else, I'll be he.
I, Nestor, tell him of Nestor, one that was a man when Hector's grandsire sucked. He is old now, but if there be not in our Grecian mold one noble man that hath one spark of fire to answer for his love, tell him from me. I'll hide my silver beard in a gold beaver, and in my vantbrace put this withered brawn, and meeting him will tell him that my lady was fairer than his grand dime, and as chaste and may be in the world, his youth in flood, I'll pawn this tooth with my 3 drops of blood. Now heavens forbid such scarcity of youth.
Oh, fair Aeneas, let me touch your hand. To our pavilion shall I lead you first. Achilles shall have word of this intent, so shall each lord of Greece from tent to tent. Yourself shall feast with us before you go and find the welcome of a noble foe.
Exeunt. Men A, except Ulysses and Nestor. Nestor.
Oh, what says Ulysses?
I have a young conception in my brain. Be it my time to bring it to some shape.
What is it?
This 'tis. Blunt wedges rive hard knots. The seated pride that hath to this maturity blown up in rank Achilles must or now be cropped or shedding breed a nursery of like evil to overbulk us all.
Well, and how?
This challenge that the gallant Hector sends, however it is spread in general name, relates in purpose only to Achilles.
The purpose is perspicuous, even as substance, whose grossness little characters sum up, and in the publication make no strain. But that Achilles were his brain, as barren as banks of Libya, though Apollo knows 'tis dry enough, will with great speed of judgment, I with celerity, find Hector's purpose pointing on him.
And wake him to the answer, think you?
Yes, 'tis most meet. Who may you well suppose that can from Hector bring his honor off, if not Achilles? Thought be a sportful combat. Yet in this trial much opinion dwells, for here the Trojan taste our dearest repute with their finest palate, and trust to me, Ulysses. Our imputation shall be oddly poised in this wild action, for the success, although particular, shall give a scanting of good or bad unto the general, and in such indexes, although small prickles to their subsequent volumes, there is seen the baby figure of the giant mass of things to come at large. It is supposed he that meets Hector issues from our choice, and choice being mutual act of all our souls makes merit her election, and doth boil as fur from forth us all. A man distilled out of our virtues, who miscarrying what heart from hence receives the conquering part to steal a strong opinion to ourselves, which entertain limbs are in his instruments, in no less working there are swords and bows directed by the limbs.
Give pardon to my speech, therefore 'tis meet Achilles meet not Hector. Let us, like merchants, show our foulest wares, and think perchance they'll sell. If not, the luster of the better yet to show shall show the better. Do not consent that ever Hector and Achilles meet, for both our honor and our shame in this are dogged with two strange followers.
I see them not with my old eyes. What are they?
What glory our Achilles shares from Hector, were he not proud, we all should wear with him, but he already is too insolent, and we were better parch in Afric's sun than in the pride and salt scorn of his eye should he scape Hector fair. If he were foiled, why then we did our main opinion crush in taint of our best man. No, make a lottery, and by device let blockish Ajax draw the sword to fight with Hector. Among ourselves give him allowances the worthier man, for that will physic the great Myrmidon, who broils in loud applause, and make him fall his crest, that prouder than blue iris bends. If the dull brainless Ajax come safe off, we'll dress him up in voices. If we fail, yet go we under our opinion still that we have better men. But hit or miss our project's life, the shape of sense assumes. Ajax employed plucks down Achilles' plumes.
Now, Ulysses, I begin to relish thy advice, and I will give a taste of it forthwith to Agamemnon. Go we to him straight, two curs shall tame each other. Pride alone must tar the mastiffs on as 'twere their bones.
Exeunt. Enter Ajax and Thersites.
We've lost Ajax. Did anyone else see that message?
Yes, that's true. Yes, I was just hoping he might have gotten back by now. Vicky, if you're here, do you want to take on Ajax since you missed most of Aeneas? Vicky, are you there? I see that we're on
Vicky's not here.
Page 39. Vicky, I just see a black box and I see you muted. Oh, there you are. Muted. Can you do that, do you think? Or?
This is Ben. Do you want to jump in? Oh, there she is.
Yeah, Vicky, if you just want to jump in as Ajax, if you just could unmute yourself. Oh, she's having problems too. Oh dear.
I think we had somebody in the audience who wanted to read.
Yeah.
Thersites!
Agamemnon, how if he had boils full all over generally?
Thersites!
And those boils did run, say so. Did not the general run? Were not that a bocce corps?
Dog!
Then there would come some matter from him, I see none now.
Thou bitch wolf son, canst thou not hear me? Feel thee then!
Strikes him.
Ah, the plague of Greece upon thee, thou mongrel! Be quitted, Lord!
Speak then, you wine-loving, speak! I will beat thee into handsomeness.
I shall sooner rail thee into wit and holiness, but I think thy horse will sooner con an oration than you learn a prayer without book. Thou canst strike, canst thou, a red murrain of thy jade's tricks.
Toldst to me the proclamation.
Dost thou think I have no sense, thou strikest me thus?
The proclamation!
Thou art proclaimed a fool, I think.
Do not, Porpentine, do not, my fingers itch.
I would thou didst itch from head to foot, and I had the scratching of thee. I would make thee the loathsomest stab in Greece.
I say the proclamation.
Thou grumblest and railest every hour on Achilles, and thou art as full of envy as his greatness, as Cerberus is at Prosperina's beauty, eye that thou barkest at him.
Mistress Thersites.
Cobloff, thou shouldst strike him.
Cobloff!
He would punt thee into shivers with his fist. A sailor breaks a biscuit.
You horse and cur.
Do.
Thou stufo witch.
I do, thou sodden-witted lord. Thou hast no more brain than I have in mine elbows, and as Sinico may tutor thee, thou scurvy, valiant ass, thou art beer. Thou art here but to thresh Trojans, and thou art bought and sold among those of any wit like a barbarian slave. If thou use to beat me, I will begin at thy heel, and tell that what thou art by inches, thou thing of no bowels, thou.
You dog.
Oh, scurvy lord.
You cur.
Maz, his idiot. Do rudeness, do Campbell, do.
Enter Achilles and Patroclus.
What? How now, Ajax? Wherefore do you this? How now, Thersites? What's the matter, man?
You see him there, do you?
Aye, well, what's the matter?
Nay, look upon him.
Now, so I do. What's the matter?
Nay, but regard him well.
Well, why, I do so.
Well, but yet you look not well upon him, for whosomever you take him to be, he's Ajax.
I know that, fool.
Aye, but that fool knows not himself.
Therefore I beat thee.
Lo. What modicums of wit he utters. His evasions have ears thus long. I have bobbed his brain more than he has beat my bones. I will buy 9 sparrows for a penny, and his pia mater is not worth the mind part of a sparrow. This lord Achilles Ajax, who wears his wit in his belly and his guts in his head, I'll tell you what I say of him.
What?
I say this Ajax.
Nay, good Ajax.
Has not so much wit.
I must hold you.
As will stop the eye of Helena, needle for whom he comes to fight.
Peaceful.
I would have peace and quietness, but the fool will not. He there, that he, look you there.
No, thou damned cur, I shall.
Will you set your wit to a fool's?
No, I warrant you, for fools will shame it.
Good word, Thersites.
What's the quarrel?
I had the
Ajax?
vile owl go learn me the tenor of the proclamation, and he rails upon me.
I serve thee not.
Now, go to.
I serve her voluntary.
Your last service was sufferance, 'twas not voluntary. No man is beaten voluntary. Ajax was here the voluntary, and you as under an impress.
Even so, a great deal of your wit too lies in your sinews, or else there be liars. Hector shall have a great catch if he knock out either of your brains. He were as good crack a fusty nut with no kernel.
What's with me to Thersites?
There's Ulysses and old Nestor, whose wit was mouldy ere their grandsires had nails on their toes, yoke you like draught oxen, and make you plow up the war.
What?
Yes, good sooth, to Achilles, to Ajax, to...
I shall cut out your tongue.
'Tis no matter, I shall speak as much as thou afterwards.
No more words, Thersites.
I will hold my peace when Achilles' brooch bids me, shall I?
That's for you, Patroclus.
I will see you hanged like clot poles ere I come any more to your tents. I will keep where there is wit stirring and leave the faction of the fools.
A good riddance.
Mary, this sir is proclaimed.
This sir is proclaimed throughout all our hosts that Hector, by the 5th hour of the sun, will with a trumpet twixt our tents and Troy tomorrow morning call some knights to arms that hath a stomach, and such a one that dare maintain I know not what. 'Tis trash. Farewell.
Farewell? Who shall answer him?
I know not. 'Tis put to lottery. Otherwise, he knew his man.
Oh, meaning you. I will go learn more of it.
Exit. Enter Priam, Hector, Troylus, Paris, and Helenus. Stephen, you're muted. Nope, still muted.
Click the microphone in the lower left corner.
Oh, like that?
Yeah, here we go.
Perfect.
I couldn't hear what you were saying, sorry. After so many hours live, speeches spent, thus once again says Nestor from the Greeks, deliver Helen and all damage else as honor, loss of time, travail, expense, wounds, friends, and what else dear that is consumed in hot digestion of this cormorant war shall be struck off. Hector, what say you to't?
Though no man lesser fears the Greeks than I, as far as touches my particular, yet dread Priam, there is no lady of more softer bowels, more spongy to suck in the sense of fear, more ready to cry out, who knows what follows, than Hector is. The wound of peace is surety, surety secure, but modest doubt is called the beacon of the wise, the tent that searches to the bottom of the worst. Let Helen go. Since the first sword was drawn about this question, every tithe soul amongst many thousand Dismays has been as dear as Helen. I mean of ours. If we have lost so many tenths of ours to guard a thing not ours, nor worth to us, had it our name, the value of 1/10, what merits in that reason which denies the yielding of her up?
Bye, my brother. Weigh you the worth and honor of a king so great as our dread father in a scale of common ounces? Will you with a counter sum the past proportion of his infinite and buckle in a waist most fathomless, with spans and inches of diminutive as fears and reasons? Fie for godly shame?
No marvel that you so bite so sharp at reasons, you are so empty of them. Should not our father bear the great sway of his affairs with reasons, because your speech hath none that tells him so?
You are for dreams and slumbers, brother priest. You fur your gloves with reason. Here are your reasons. You know an enemy intends you harm. You know a sword employed is perilous, and reason flies the object of all harm. Who marvels then what Hellenist beholds a Grecian and his sword, if he do set the very wings of reason to his heels, or like a star disrobed? Nay, if we talk of reason, and fly like chidden Mercury from Jove, let's shut our gates and sleep. Manhood and honor should have hard hearts. Would they but fat their thoughts with this crammed reason, reason and respect make livers pale and lustihood deject.
Brother, she is not worth what she doth cost the holding.
What's aught but as 'tis valued?
Value dwells not in particular will. It holds its estimate and dignity as well, wherein 'tis precious of itself, as in the prizer. 'Tis made idolatry to make the service greater than the god, and the will dotes that is inclinable to what infectiously itself affects, without some image of the affected merit.
I take today a wife, and my election is led on the conduct of my will, and kindled by mine eyes and ears, two traded pilots twixt the dangerous shores of will and judgment. How may I avoid, although my will distaste what it elected, the wife I chose? There can be no evasion to blench from this, and to stand firm by honor. We turn not back the silks upon the merchant when we have spoiled them, nor the remainder viands we do not throw in some unrespective same, because we are now full. It was thought meet Paris should do some vengeance on the Greeks. Your breath, of full consent, bellied his sails. The seas and winds old wranglers took a truce and did him service. He touched the ports desired, and for an old aunt whom the Greeks held captive, he brought a Grecian queen, whose youth and freshness wrinkles Apollo's and makes stale the morning. Why keep we her? The Grecians keep our aunt. Is she worth keeping? Why, she's a pearl, whose price hath launched above 1,000 ships and turned crowned kings to merchants. If you'll avouch 'twas wisdom Paris went, as you must needs, for you all cried, go, go. If you'll confess he brought home noble prizes, you must needs, for all you clapped your hands and cried inestimable. Why do you now the issue of your proper wisdoms rate, and do a deed that fortune never did? Beggar the estimation which you prized, richer than sea and land. O theft most base, that we have stolen what we do fear to keep. But thieves unworthy of a thing so stolen, that in their country did them that disgrace, we fear to warrant in our native place.
Enter Cassandra with her hair about her ears.
Cry, Trojans, cry.
Oh, what noise! What shriek is this?
It's our mad sister, I do know her voice.
Cry, Trojans.
It is Cassandra.
Cry, Trojans, cry. Lend me 10,000 eyes and I will fill them with prophetic tears.
Peace, sister, peace.
Virgins and boys, mid-age and wrinkled old, soft infancy that nothing can but cry. Add to my clamor, let us pay betimes a moiety of that mass of moan to come. Cry, Trojans, cry. Practice your ears with tears. Troy must not be, nor goodly Iliad stand. Our firebrand brothers Paris burns us all. Cry, Trojans, cry. A Helen and a woe. Cry, cry. Troy burns, or else let Helen go.
Exit.
Now, youthful Troylus, do not these high strains of divination in our sister work some touches of remorse? Or is your blood so madly hot that no discourse of reason nor fear of bad success in a bad cause can qualify the same?
Why, brother Hector, we may not think the justness of each act such and no other as than the event doth form it, nor once deject the courage of our minds, because Cassandra's mad, Her brain's sick raptures cannot distaste the goodness of our quarrel, which hath our several honors all engaged to make it gracious. For my private part, I am no more touched than all Priam's sons, and Jove forbid there should be done among us such things as might offend the weakest spleen to fight for and maintain.
I'll smite the world, convinced of levity as well my undertakings as your counsels. But I attest the gods your full consent gave wings to my propension and cut off all fears attending on our so dire a project. For what, alas, can these my single arms? What propagation is in one man's valor to stand the push and enmity of those whose this quarrel would excite? Yet I protest, were I alone to pass the difficulties and had as ample power as I have will, Paris should ne'er retract what he hath done, nor faint in the pursuit.
Paris, you speak like one besotted with your sweet delight. You have the honey still, but these have the gall. So to be valiant is no praise at all.
Sir, I propose not merely to myself the pleasures such a beauty brings with it, but I would have the soil of her fair rape, with often honorable keeping her. What treason were it into the ransacked queen, disgrace to your great worths and shame to me, now to deliver her possession up on terms of base compulsion? Can it be that so degenerate a strain as this should once set footing on your generous bosoms? There's not the meanest spirit in our party without a heart to dare, or sword to draw, when Helen is defended, nor none so noble whose life were ill bestowed, or death unfeigned, where Helen is the subject. Then I say, well, may we fight for her, whom we know well. The world's largest spaces cannot parallel.
Paris, Troylus, you have both said well, and on the cause in question now in hand have glozed but superficially, not much unlike young men whom Aristotle thought unfit to hear moral philosophy. The reasons you allege do more conduce to the hot passion of distempered blood than to make up a free determination twixt right and wrong. For pleasure and revenge have ears more deaf than adders to the voice of any true decision. Nature craves all dues be rendered to their owners. Now, what nearer debt in all humanity than wife is to the husband? If this law of nature be corrupted through affection, and that great minds of partial indulgence to their benumbed wills resist the same, there is a law in each well-ordered nation to curb those raging appetites that are most disobedient and refractory. If Helen then be the wife to Sparta's king, as is known she is, these moral laws of nature and of nation speak aloud to have her back returned. Thus, to persist in doing wrong extenuates not wrong, but makes it much more heavy. Hector's opinion in this is this in way of truth. Yet, nevertheless, my sprightly brethren, I propend to you in resolution to keep Helen still. For 'tis a cause that hath no mean dependence upon our joint and several dignities.
Why, there you touch the life of our design. Were it not glory that we more affected than the performance of our heaving spleens, I would not wish a drop of Trojan blood spent more in her defense. But worthy Hector, she is the theme of honor and renown, a spur to valiant and magnanimous deeds, whose present courage may beat down our foes, and fame in time to come canonize us. For I presume brave Hector would not lose so rich advantage of her promised glory as smiles upon the forehead of this action for the wide world's revenue.
I'm yours, you valiant offspring of great Primus. I have a roisting challenge sent amongst the dull and factious nobles of the Greeks will strike amazement to their drowsy spirits. I was advertised, their great general slept, whilst emulation in the army crept. This, I presume, will awaken.
Exeunt. Enter Thersites, solus.
Ah, how now, Thersites? What, lost in the labyrinth of thy fury? Shall the elephant Ajax carry it thus? He beats me, and I rail at him. Oh, worthy satisfaction would it were otherwise, that I could beat him whilst he railed. Oh, railed at me's foot. I'll learn to conjure and raise devils, but I'll see some issue of my spiteful extractions. Then there's Achilles, a rare engineer. If Troy be not taken till these two undermine it, the walls will stand till they fall on themselves. Oh, thou great thunder daughter of Olympus, forget that thou art Jove, the king of gods, and Mercury, lose all the serpentine craft of thy cubicus, if thou take not that little less than little wit from them that they have, which short-armed ignorance itself knows is so abundant scarce. It will not in circumvention deliver a fly from a spider without drawing the massive irons and cutting the web. After this, the vengeance on the whole camp, or rather the bone-ache, for that methinks is the curse dependent on those that war for a placket. I've said my prayers, and devil envy say amen. What, ho, my lord, Achilles?
Who's there? Oh, Thersites up! Could Thersites come in and rail?
Well, if I could have remembered a gilt counterfeit, thou wouldst not have slipped out of my contemplation, but it is no matter, thyself upon thyself. The common curse of mankind, folly and ignorance be thine in great, oh, great. Here we go. Revenue. Revenue. Heaven bless thee from a tutor. From a tutor and discipline come not near thee. Let thy blood be thy direction till thy death. Then, if she that lays thee out says thou art a fair course, I'll be sworn and sworn upon it. She never shrouded any but Lazars. Amen. Where's Achilles?
What art thou devout? Wast thou in prayer?
Hi, the heavens hear me.
Who's there?
Thersites, my lord.
Where? Art thou come? Why, my cheese, my digestion, why hast thou not served thyself into my table so many meals? Come, what's Agamemnon?
Thy commander, Achilles, then tell me, Patroclus, what's Achilles?
Thy lord, Thersites, then tell me, I pray thee, what's thyself?
Thy knower, Patroclus, then tell me, Patroclus, what art thou?
Thou mayest tell. What do thou knowest?
Oh.
Tell.
I'll decline the whole question. Agamemnon commands Achilles. Achilles is my lord. I am Patroclus' knower.
What am I?
Ah, and Patroclus is a fool.
You rascal!
Peaceful. I'm not done.
Yeah, he is a privileged man. Proceed, Thersites.
Agamemnon is a fool. Achilles is a fool. Thersites is a fool. And as aforesaid, Patroclus is a fool.
Derive this.
Agamemnon is a fool to offer a command to Achilles. Achilles is a fool to be commanded of Agamemnon. Thersites is a fool to serve such a fool, and Patroclus is a fool positive.
Why am I a fool?
Enter Agamemnon, Ulysses, Nestor, Diomedes, Ajax, and Calchas.
Make that demand to the Creator. It suffuses, it suffices me thou art. Just does. Look you, who comes here?
Patroclus, I will speak with nobody. Come in with me, Thersites.
There's such patchery, such juggling, and such knavery. All the argument is a cuckold and a whore. A good quarrel to draw emulations, factions, and bleed to death upon. Now the Dryas appear, go on the subject, and And where was I?
War and lechery.
War and lechery, of course. War and lechery, obvious. Confound all.
Where's Achilles?
Within his tent, but ill-disposed, my lord.
Let it be known to him that we are here. He sent our messengers, and we lay by our appurtenance, visiting of him. Let him be told so perchance he think we dare not move the question of our place, or know not what we are.
I shall say so to him.
We saw him at the opening of his tent. He is not sick. We have not our Ajax. We've lost the Ajax, so can Vicky lost some stuff. Maybe she can do Ajax now. How about that? Vicky, are you there? Did you see where we are?
I need a page number.
58.
58.
I'm every time. Oh, frozen again. I apologize. I've been kicked out about 6 times.
You're good, I think.
We can see you. We can see you and hear you. You can't see your script or?
No, that's what's
I'll
freezing.
take both of them. Oh, no, I can't do that. Hold on.
I think we're being.
No, that's Michael with his 2 things.
Zoom bomb. Someone share a screen.
Hi.
All right. So if somebody, Lila, are you around? Do you want to take over for Ajax here, or Stephen? Can you do that? Ajax?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Lila. Why don't you do it for now? Sorry.
Where am I?
I'm sorry. Page 58.
Yep.
I can do it.
Yes, lion sick.
Yes, lion sick of proud heart. You may call it melancholy if we'll favor the man. But by my head it is pride. But why let him show us the cause? A word of my lord.
What moves Ajax thus to bay at him?
Achilles hath inveigled his fool from him.
Who, Thersites?
He.
Then will Ajax lack matter if he have lost his argument?
No, you see, he is his argument that has his argument Achilles.
All the better. Their faction is more our wish than their faction. Their fraction is more our wish than their faction. But it was a strong counsel that a fool could disunite.
This amity that wisdom knits, not folly, may easily untie. Enter Patroclus.
No
Here
Achilles
comes
with him.
Patroclus.
No Achilles with him.
The elephant hath joints, but none for courtesy. His legs are legs for necessity, not for flight.
Achilles bids me to say he is much sorry if anything more than your sport and pleasure did move your greatness and this noble state to call upon him. He hopes it is no other but for your health and your digestion's sake, and after dinner's breath.
You, Patroclus, we are too well acquainted with these answers, but his evasion winged thus swift with scorn cannot outfly our apprehensions. Much attribute he hath, and much the reason why we ascribe it to him, yet all his virtues, not virtuously of his own part beheld, do in our eyes begin to lose their gloss. Yea, and like fair fruit in an unwholesome dish, are like to rot untasted. Go, tell him, we came to speak with him, and you shall not sin if you do say we think him over proud and under honest, in self-assumption greater than in the note of judgment, and worthier than himself. Here tends the savage strangeness he puts on, disguise the holy truth of their command, and underwrite in an observing kind his humorous predominance. Yea, watch his pettish lines, his ebbs, his flows, as if the passage and whole carriage of this action rode on his tide. Go tell him this, and add that if he overhold his price so much, will none of him, but let him, like an engine not portable, lie under this report. Bring action hither. This cannot go to war. A stirring dwarf we due allowance give before a sleeping giant. Tell him so.
I shall, and bring his answer presently.
Second voice will not be satisfied. We come to speak with him. Ulysses, enter you.
What is he more than another?
No more than what he thinks he is.
If he's so much, do you not think he thinks himself a better man than I am?
No question.
Will you subscribe his thought and say he is?
No, noble Ajax, you are as strong, as valiant, as wise, no less noble, much more gentle, and altogether more tractable.
Why should a man be proud? How doth pride grow? I know not what it is.
Your mind is the clearer, Ajax, and your virtues the fairer. He that is proud eats up himself. Pride is his own glass, his own trumpet, his own chronicle, and whatever praises itself but in the deed, devours the deed in the praise.
I do hate a proud man as I hate the engendering of toads. Yet he loves himself, is it not strange?
Achilles will not to the field tomorrow.
What's his excuse?
He doth rely on none, but carries on the stream of his dispose without observance or report of any, in will peculiar and in self-admission.
Why, will he not upon our fair request untent his person and share the air with us?
Things small as nothing, for request's sakes only, he makes important. Possessed he is with greatness, and speaks not to himself, but with a pride that quarrels at self-breath. Imagined wrath holds in his blood such swollen and hot discourse that twixt his mental and his active parts, kingdom Achilles in commotion rages and batters gainst itself. What should I say? He is so plaguy proud that the death tokens of it cry no recovery.
Ajax, go to him. Dear Lord, go you and greet him in his tent. 'Tis said he holds you well and will be led at your request a little from himself.
Oh, Agamemnon, let it not be so. We'll consecrate the steps that Ajax makes when they go from Achilles. Shall the proud lord that bastes his arrogance with his own seam and never suffers matter of the world enter his thoughts, save such as do revolve and ruminate himself? Shall he be worshipped of that we hold an idol more than he? No, this thrice worthy and right valiant lord must not salute, must not so stale his palm nobly acquired, nor by my will subjugate his merit as amply titled as Achilles is by going to Achilles. That were to enlard his fat already pride and add more coals to cancer, whence he burns with entertaining great Hyperion. This lord go to him, Jupiter forbid, and say in thunder, Achilles, go to him.
Ah, this is well, he rubs the vein of him.
And how his silence drinks up this applause.
Ajax. Ah.
If I go to him with my armed fist, I'll bash him in the face.
Oh no, you shall not go.
Be proud with me. I'll face his pride. Let me go to him.
Not for the worth that hangs upon our quarrel.
Paltry, insolent fellow.
Oh, how he describes himself.
Can he not be sociable?
The raven chides blackness.
Let his humor's blood.
He will be the physician that should be the patient.
And all men were my mind.
Wit would be out of fashion.
I should not bear it so. I should eat swords first. Shall pride carry it?
And it would. You'd carry half.
Would have 10 shares.
I will need him. I will become supple. He's not yet through one.
Force him with praises. Pour in. His ambition is dry.
My lord, you feed too much on this dislike.
Oh, our noble general, do not do so.
You must prepare to fight without Achilles.
Why, 'tis this naming of him doth him harm. Here is a man, but 'tis before his face I will be silent.
Wherefore should you so? He is not emulous as Achilles is.
Knows the whole world he is as valiant.
No horse and dog is so palternous. Would he were a Trojan?
What advice were it in Ajax now?
If he were proud,
Or covetous of praise,
aye, or surly born.
or strange or self-affected.
Thank the heavens, Lord, thou art of sweet composure. Praise him that got thee, she that gave thee suck. Fame be thy tutor in thy parts of nature, thrice famed beyond all erudition. But he that disciplined thy arms to fight, let Mars divide eternity in twain and give him half. And for thy vigor, bull-bearing Milo, in his addition yield to sinewy Ajax. I will not praise thy wisdom, which like a born pale ashore confines thy spacious and dilated parts. Here's Nestor, instructed by the antiquary times. He cannot but be wise. But pardon, Father Nestor, were your days as green as Ajax and your brain so tempered, you should not have the eminence of him, but be as Ajax.
Shall I call you father?
Aye, my good son.
Be ruled by him, Lord Ajax.
There's no tarrying here. The heart, Achilles, keeps thicket. Pleased our general to call together all his state of war. Fresh kings are come to Troy. Tomorrow we must with all our main of power stand fast. And here's a lord come night from east to west and cull their flower. Ajax shall cope the best.
O we to council, let Achilles sleep. Light boats may sail swift, though greater bulks draw deep.
Exeunt. Music sound within. Enter Pandarus and a servant.
In a moment. Shit. No, I turned this off.
Yeah, turn it off. Please, thank you.
Hello? Oh, man.
You gotta turn one off, please.
I did, I thought. Oh, God, hold on.
Hello? No, this is not working, bro.
It might be.
I know what's wrong. I know what's wrong.
We can.
You sound good now.
Yeah, but we can't see you.
Hello?
Okay.
Okay, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry, guys. I thought this was gonna work. I gotta mute this. Hello? Can you hear me now?
You're good.
Oh, thank you. I'm really sorry about this, guys. Friend, pray you a word. Do not you follow the young Lord Pandarus?
Aye, sir, when he goes before me.
You depend upon him, I mean.
Sir, I do depend upon the Lord.
You depend upon a noble gentleman. I must needs praise him.
The Lord be praised.
You know me, do you not?
Faith, sir, superficially.
Friend, know me better. I am the Lord Pandarus.
I hope I shall know your honor better.
I do desire it.
You're in the state of grace.
Grace, not so, friend. Honor and lordship are my title. What music is this?
I do but partly know, sir. It is music in parts.
Oh, know you the musicians?
Holy, sir.
Who play they to?
To the hearers, sir.
At whose pleasure, friend?
At mine, sir, and theirs that love music.
Command, I mean, friend.
Who shall I command, sir?
Friend, we understand not one another. I am too courtly, and thou art too cunning. At whose request do these men play?
That's to it indeed, sir. Marry, sir, at the request of Paris, my lord, who's there in person. With him, the mortal Venus, the heart blood of beauty, love's invisible soul.
Who? My cousin Cressida.
No, sir, Helen. Could you not find out that by her attributes?
It should seem, fellow, that thou hast not seen the Lady Cressida. I come to speak with Paris from the Prince Troylus. I will make a complimental assault upon him, for my business here suits.
Sodden business. There's a stewed phrase indeed.
Enter Paris and Helena, and I believe we need someone to step
Paris.
to read Paris. Okay, who's
I'm not doing anything.
all right, well, let's Michael, do you want to make a call here or
Anybody want to take Paris? I don't know what happened.
I'll take it.
I'm willing to take it on, so, and Julie, so.
I'll take Paris.
Okay, let's
Fine.
let Stephen do it.
Thank you.
Where are we?
Missy
What scene
in.
is it?
She's in the chat. Just promote her to
And-
attend panelist. Put Missy in.
Yeah, Missy really wants to read, and she doesn't have a part.
Okay, do you have the script, Missy? Missy, I'm promoting you to panelist to see if you can step in, or I don't know if you've got the text or access to the text, which I've loaded onto the Facebook page. Yeah. All right, hey, Missy, good to see you. And do you know where we're at? Paris and Helen. Helen of Troy.
Fair be to you, my lord, and to all this fair company, fair desires in all fair measure fairly guide them, especially to you, fair queen. Fair thoughts be your fair pillow.
Dear Lord, you are full of fair words.
Oh, you speak your fair pleasure, sweet queen. Fair prince, what to hear is good broken music.
Missy, are you there?
Yes, where are we up to? What page, please?
We're at the bottom of page 68, the very last line on page 68.
Okay, so am I up to now? You have broken at Cozen?
Yep.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, you have broken at Cozen, and by my life, you shall make it whole again, and you shall pierce it out with a piece of your performance. Nell, he is full of harmony.
Truly, lady, no.
Oh, sir.
Rude in sooth, in good sooth, very rude.
Well said, my lord. Well, you say so in fits.
I have business to you, my lord. Dear queen, my lord, will you vouch me a word?
Nay, this shall not hedge us out. We'll hear you sing, certainly.
Oh, sweet queen, you are pleasant with me. But marry thus, my lord, my dear lord and most esteemed friend, your brother Troylus.
My lord Pandarus, honey sweet lord.
Go to, sweet queen, go to. Commends himself most affectionately to you.
You shall not bob us out of our melody. If you do, our melancholy upon your head.
Oh, sweet queen, that's a sweet queen in faith.
And to make a sweet lady sad is a sour offense.
Nay, that shall not serve your turn, that shall it not in truth, la. Nay, I care not for such words, no. And my lord, he desires you that if the king call for him at supper, you will make his excuse.
My lord Pandarus.
What says my sweet queen, my very, very sweet queen?
What exploits in hand? Where sups he tonight?
Nay, but my lord.
What says my sweet queen? My cousin will fall out with you.
You must not know where he sups.
With my disposer Cressida.
No such matter. You are wide. Come, your disposer is sick.
Well, I'll make excuse.
Aye, good my lord. Why should you say Cressida? No, your poor disposer's sick.
I spy.
You spy? What do you spy? Come, give me an instrument now. Come, sweet queen.
Why, this is kindly done.
My niece is horrible in love with a thing you have, sweet queen.
She shall have it, my lord, if it be not my lord Paris.
He? No, she'll never him. They two are twain.
Falling in after falling out may make them three.
Come, I'll hear no more of this. I'll sing you a song.
I prithee now, by my troth, sweet lord, thou hast a fine forehead.
Aye, you may, you may.
Let thy song be love. This love will undo us all. Oh, Cupid, Cupid, Cupid.
Love. Aye, shall, yes, in faith.
Ay, good now, love, love, nothing but love.
Ah, in good truth, it begins so. Love, love, nothing but love. Still more, for oh, love's bow shoots buck and doe. The shaft confounds, now that it wounds, but tickles still the sore. These lovers cry, oh, they die. Yet that which seems the wound to kill doth turn, oh, oh, to ha, ha, ha. So dying love lives still, oh, a while, but ha, 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 oh, oh, groans out, oh, oh, ha, 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 ha. Hey, oh.
In love, it fades to the very tip of the nose.
It's nothing but dove's love, and that breeds not cloud, and hot cloud begets hot thoughts, and hot thoughts beget hot deeds, and hot deeds is love.
Is this the generation of love? Hot blood, hot thoughts, and hot deeds? Why, they are vipers. Is love a generation of vipers? Sweet Lord, who's afield today?
Hector, Deiphobus, Helenus, Athenor, and all the gallantry of Troy. I would fain have armed today, but my Nell would not have it so. How chance your brother Troylus went not?
He hangs the lip at something. You know all, Lord Pandarus?
Not I, honey sweet queen. I long to hear how they sped today. You remember your brother's excuse?
To our heir.
Farewell, sweet queen.
Commend me to your niece.
Sound a retreat.
They've come from field. Let us to Priam's hall to greet the warriors. Sweet Helen, I must woe you to help unarm our Hector. His stubborn buckles, with these your white enchanting fingers touched, shall more obey than to the edge of steel or force of Greekish sinews. You shall do more than all the land kings. Disarm great Hector.
Will make us proud to be his servant, Paris. Yea, what he shall receive of us in duty gives us more palm in beauty than we have, yea, overshines ourself. Sweet above thought, I love thee.
Exeunt. Enter Pandarus and Troilus's man.
How now? Where's thy master? At my cousin Cressida's?
No, sir. He stays for you to conduct him thither.
Enter Troilus.
Oh, here he comes.
Tira.
How now? How now?
Tira, walk off.
Have you seen my cousin?
No, Pandarus, I stalk about her door, like a strange soul upon a Stygian bank standing for waftage. Oh, be thou my Karen, and give me swift transportance to those fields, where I may wallow in the lily beds proposed for the deserver. O gentle Pandarus, from Cupid's shoulder, pluck his painted wings and fly with me to Cressida.
Walk here in the orchard. I'll bring her straight.
Exit Pandarus.
I'm giddy. Expectation whirls around the imaginary relish is so sweet that it enchants my sense. What will it be when that the watery palates taste indeed love's thrice reputed nectar? Death, I fear me, sounding destruction is some joy too fine, too subtle, potent, and too sharp in sweetness for the capacity of my ruder powers. I fear it much, and I do fear besides that I shall lose distinction in my joys, as to the battle, when they charge on heaps the enemy flying.
Enter Pandarus.
She's making her ready. She'll come straight. You must be witty now. She does so blush and fetches her wind so short as if she were afraid with a sprite. I'll fetch her. It is the prettiest villain. She fetches her breath so short as a new tame sparrow.
Exit Pandarus.
Even such a passion doth embrace my bosom. My heart beats thicker than a feverish pulse, and all my powers do their bestowing lose like vassalage at unawares encountering the eye of majesty.
Enter Pandarus and Cressida.
Come, come. What need to blush? Shame's a baby. Here she is. Now, swear the oaths now to her that you have sworn to me. What are you gone again? You must be watched ere you made tame, must you? Come your ways. And you draw backward, we'll put you in the fills. Why do you not speak to her? Come, draw this curtain, and let's see your picture. Alas, the day, how loath you are to offend daylight, and 'twere dark yet close sooner. So move on and kiss the mistress. Kiss her. How now, a kiss in free form build you there, carpenter. The air is sweet. Nay, you shall fight your hearts out ere I part you. The falcon is the tercel for all the ducks in the river. Go to.
You have bereft me of all words, lady.
Words pay no debts, give her deeds. She'll berave you so of the deeds too if she calls your activity in question. What, billing again? Here is witness where the parties interchangeably. Come in, I'll go get a fire.
Will you walk in, my lord?
Oh, Cressida, how often have I wished me thus?
Wished? My lord, the gods grant. Oh, my lord.
What should they grant? What makes this pretty abruption? What two curious dregs espies my sweet lady in the fountain of our love?
More dregs than water if my tears have eyes.
Fears make devils of cherubins that never see truly.
Blind fear that seeing reason leads, finds safe footing, then blind reason, stumbling without fear. To fear the worst oft cures the worse.
Oh, lady, let apprehend no fear. In all Cupid's pageant there is presented no monster.
Not nothing monstrous, neither?
Nothing but our undertakings. When we vow to weep, seize, live in fire, eat rocks, tame tigers, thinking harder for our mistress to devise imposition enough for us to undergo any difficulty imposed. This is the monstrosity in love, lady. That the will is infinite and the execution confined, that the desire is boundless, and the act a slave to limit.
They say all lovers swear more performance than they are able, and yet reserve an ability that they never perform, vowing more than the perfection of 10, and discharging less than the 10th part of 1. They that have the voice of lions and the act of hares, are they not monsters?
Are there such? Such are not we. Praise us as we are tasted. Allow us as we prove. Our head shall go bare till merit crown it. No perfection in reversion shall have a praise and present. We will not name desert before his birth, and being born his addition shall be humble. Few words to fair faith. Troylus shall be such to Cressida as what envy can say worst, shall be a mock for his truth, and what truth can speak truest, no truer than Troylus.
Will you walk in, my lord?
What, blushing still? Have you not done talking yet?
Well, uncle, what folly I commit, I dedicate to you.
I thank you for that. If my lord get a boy of you, you'll give him me. Be true to my lord. If he flinch, chide me for it.
You know now your hostages, your uncle's word and my firm faith.
Nay, I'll give my word for her too. Our kindred, though they be long ere they are wooed, they are constant being won. They are burrs, I can tell you. They'll stick where they are thrown.
Boldness comes to me now and brings me heart. Prince Troylus, I have loved you night and day for many weary months.
Why was my Cressida then so hard to win?
Hard to seem one. But I was won, my lord, with the first glance that ever, pardon me, if I confess much, but not till now so much, but I might master it, in faith I lie. My thoughts were like unbridled children, grow too headstrong for their mother. See, We fools, why have I blabbed? Who shall be true to us when we are so unsecret to ourselves? But though I loved you well, I wooed you not. And yet, good faith, I wished myself a man, or that we women had men's privilege of speaking first. Sweet, bid me hold my tongue, for in this rapture I shall surely speak the thing I shall repent. See? See, your silence coming in dumbness from my weakness draws my soul of counsel from me. Stop my mouth.
And shall, albeit sweet music issues hence.
Pretty and safe.
My lord, I do beseech you, pardon me. 'Twas not my purpose thus to beg a kiss. I am ashamed. Oh, heavens, what have I done? For this time will I take to leave my lord.
Your leave, sweet Cressida?
Leave, and you will take leave till tomorrow morning.
Pray, you, content, you.
What offends you, lady?
Sir, mine own company.
You cannot shun yourself.
Let me go and try.
Mhm.
I have a kind of self resides with you. Be an unkind self that itself will leave to be another's fool. Where is my wit? I would be gone, I speak I know not what.
Well, know they what they speak that speak so wisely.
Perchance, my lord, I show more craft than love, and fell so roundly to a large confession to angle for your thoughts. But you are wise, or else you love not, for to be wise and love exceeds man's might that dwells with gods above.
Oh, that I thought it could be in a woman, as if it can. I will presume in you to feed for aye her lamp and flames of love, to keep her constancy in plight and youth, outliving beauty's outward with a mind that doth renew swifter than blood decays. Or that persuasion could be, but thus convince me that my integrity and truth to you might be affronted with the matching way to such a winnowed purity in love. How were I then uplifted? But alas, I am as true as truth's simplicity, as simple in the infancy of truth.
In that I'll war with you.
O virtuous flight! When right with right wars, who shall be most right? True swains in love shall in the world to come approve their truths by Troylus, when their time's full of protest and oath and big compare want, similes, truth tired with iteration, as true as steel, as plantage as the moon, as sun today, as turtle to a mate, as iron to adamant, as earth to the center. Yea, after all comparisons of truth, as truth's authentic author to be cited, as true as Troylus shall crown up the verse and sanctify the numbers.
Prophet may you be, if I be false or swerve a hair from the truth, when time is old and hath forgot itself, when water drops have worn the stones of Troy, and blind oblivion swallowed cities up, and mighty states characterless are grated to dusty nothing. Yet let memory, from false to false, among false maids in love, upbraid my falsehood when they have said as false, as air, as water, as wind, as sandy earth, as fox to lamb, as wolf to heifer's calf, pard to the hind, or stepdame to her son. Yea, let them say, to stick the heart of falsehood, as false as Cressida.
Ooh.
Go to a bargain made. Seal it, seal it. I'll be the witness here. Hold your hand. Hear my cousins. If ever you prove false one to another, since I have taken such pains to bring you together, let all pitify goers between be called to the world's end after my name. Call them all panders. Let all constant men be Troyluses, all false women Cressids, and all brokers between panders. Say amen.
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 Amen. Whereupon I will show you a chamber which then, because it shall not speak of your petty encounters, press it to death away. And Cupid grant all long tongue-tied maidens here bed, chamber, and pander to provide this gift.
Exeunt. And there you have it, the happy comedy of Troylus and Cressida. And they live happily ever after as a symbol of faithful love. And panders are then seen. Well, I actually, this is just time to take a little break in the middle here. We'll be
I wanted to take a break much later. I wanted to take a break after Act 3, after Cressida's I Will Not Go to Troy. Can we just keep going?
What if we have to pee?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just thought it would be better to take a
I
break.
didn't know, Michael, so I just.
All right. Whatever. So we're taking a break now. Okay.
Unless, do you want to?
It's up to you. I mean, I'm cool with continuing because we've been taking so many breaks, but we're gonna have to take a break eventually.
Well, I would just rather let's take a break now so that
All
then
right.
we can sort out all of the additional
Yes.
casting for things.
Yes. So what happened? Dan is split for good, I
Should
guess.
we be
huh?
back?
Yeah, what?
What time should we be back?
I'm sorry, just 5 minutes. We'll be starting about 9:32.
9:32.
Does anybody know what happened to Dan? I don't. even
His
know what
computer died.
Yeah,
Computer died.
All right. So we need a Paris and an Ajax.
I think Missy has taken Paris because
Right.
she doesn't.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, thank you so much for stepping in.
Thank you, Missy.
My
Glad it worked
pleasure.
out for you because I knew you wanted to do something in this.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
so we need an Ajax.
I'll take Ajax.
Yeah, let's.
Who's that? Stephen. You're
Yeah,
comfortable
I'll take
now.
Ajax.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes, go in and out just like that.
Steven, it's going good for you?
No comment.
Well, it looks like it's going better for. I'm sorry about that. I was screwing around. I'm just staying with one computer now.
So I just, I'm glad to see that we've got Vicky, that you're able to get connected again. Sorry, it often happens that just before Aeneas's big scene that Vicky sort of connection went out. And we found that we did that in our Midsummer. We had like Helena lose connection right before the scene with Demetrius. And then Demetrius lose the other right before his scene with Hermia. But it's we do need to sort of keep it moving, so that's why
Keep going, yeah.
stepping in. But just if we just see if so if we've got Ajax and Paris covered, I guess we're good for that then, right? So great, thank you all. Thank you very much. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of one of the things that Patrick Tucker would say about doing Shakespeare is that one of the key things is that when you get to Act 5, even though you're tired and you've been speaking a lot, you should go as fast as you can.
Yes.
Because I mean, there's really a need, and for those of you who have ever performed outdoors, when sometimes it's like it's starting to rain, and then you sort of go to rain speed, which is just about as fast as you can go to get through it. And that's a good idea. And that's also, I think, especially a good idea in a play like Troylus and Cressida, which the record of it was that it was performed at Gray's Inn, which is where all of the lawyers hung out. And that's why it's got all of these huge speeches and all of these big examples of rhetoric and all of this really stuff of people like Ulysses and Agamemnon and Nestor, who will just go on and on and on. So, but I think, yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, that doesn't look like Dan made it back, but we seem to have everything covered now. Does anybody have any questions or issues that need to be addressed before we get started again in a couple of minutes?
Mark says they're more interested in Dolce and Gabbana. Troylus and Cressida.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always like sort of ending there because at that point it's sort of like, yeah, what if we just ended the play right here with them? Then they're happy. The two of them are together. That's great.
I mean, obviously, you know, the Trojan War was like just quite the romp, you know, from beginning to end, just a total rom-com, no bloodshed.
Yeah. It was.
Who is it? The face that would sink 1,000 ships? Is that the term they
The
said?
face that launched 1,000
Launch.
ships and
Right.
burnt the topless towers of Ilion. Best
Yeah, but that was the other one. That was the man who really wrote the Shakespeare plays, Christopher Marlowe.
It's Dr. Faustus.
You really wrote him?
Helen is a demon.
Yeah, Helen is Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
I like and Bedazzled, yeah, because actually, that Helen is in Dr. Faustus. It's a symbol of ultimate female beauty, and the gods just messing with everybody.
What is interesting about the play is the fact that Troylus was in Homer. Troylus is actually, and Greek legend, Troylus is actually the first casualty of the war. He's killed by Achilles.
Oh yeah. Oh, I
In
forgot
a
about
temple
that.
outside of the city, and it's one of the causes of the war.
Wow. Well, because this is, I guess, based on like Chaucer had written a poem.
It's Chaucer, yeah.
Chaucer's other poem.
Well, I still say we'll talk about it later because we got to keep going. We should get going. I was going to say something about the production they did in the summer, which I love the choice. Paul didn't like it.
I liked a lot of it. I just didn't
But
like
Ulysses killing Patroclus to keep the war going, to get Achilles back in the war, I just thought was a brilliant choice. And I remember I said to Daniel Sullivan, I said, that's not in the text, but it's not in the text. And he told me it was actually Corey's idea. I said, well, it made sense to me. But you didn't like it because you said it turns Ulysses into a villain.
Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion. And I also, I thought it was actually, there was a lot of really great work in that production. And yeah, Corey Stoll as Ulysses was terrific, and a lot of really great performances. But what they did was they made it into a more modern thing and as one army. And so everybody was in the same army, and that sort of misses what the whole point of what the Greek army was about, which is what Agamemnon is having to put up with, of the fact that Achilles is so proud and that they're all these different groups coming together for this big war. And that's what a lot of the Iliad deals with, all of the difficulties of them dealing with each other.
So, and the Trojan rabbit.
Yeah, anyways, yes. All right, well, we're back now. So let us continue now with the rest of Troylus and Cressida. Enter Ulysses, Diomedes, Nestor, Agamemnon, Menelaus, and Calchas. Flourish.
Now, Princess, for the service I have done you, the advantage of time prompts me aloud to call for recompense. Appear it to your mind that through the sight I bear in things to come, I have abandoned Troy, lest my possession incurred a traitor's name, exposed myself from certain and possessed conveniences to doubtful fortunes, sequestering from me all that time acquaintance, custom, and condition made tame and most familiar to my nature. And here to do you service and become as new into the world, strange and unacquainted. I do beseech you, as in the way of taste, to give me now a little benefit out of those many registered in promise, which you say live to come in my behalf.
What wouldst thou of us, Trojan? Make demand.
You have a Trojan prisoner called Antenor, yesterday took. Troy holds him very dear. Often have you, thanks therefore, desired my Cressida in right great exchange, whom Troy hath till denied. But this Antenor, I know, is such a rest in their affairs that their negotiations all must slack, wanting his marriage. And they will almost give us a prince of blood, a son of Priam, in change of him. Let him be sent, great princes, and he shall buy my daughter, and her presence shall quite strike off all service I have done in most accepted pain.
Let Diomedes bear him and bring us Cressida hither. Calchas shall have what he requests of us, good Diomed. Furnish you fairly for this interchange. Withal bringing word if Hector will tomorrow be answered in his challenge. Ajax is ready.
This shall I undertake. It is a burden which I am proud to bear.
Exit, enter Achilles and Patroclus in their tent. Achilles stands in the entrance of his tent, pleased at our general to pass strangely by him, as if he were forgot, and princes all lay negligent and loose regard upon him. I will come last. 'Tis like he'll question me, why such unplausive eyes are bent, why turned on him? If so, I have derision medicinable to use between your strangeness and his pride, which his own will shall have desire to drink. It may do good. Pride hath no other glass to show itself, but pride for supple knees feed arrogance, and are the proud man's fees.
We'll execute your purpose and put on a form of strangeness as we pass by. So do each lord, and either greet him not, or else disdainfully, which shall shake him more than if not looked on. I will lead the way.
What comes the general to speak with me? You know my mind. I'll fight no more against Troy.
What sayest, Achilles? Would he aught with us?
Would you, my lord, aught with the general?
No.
Nothing, my lord.
The better.
I lost it.
Good day, good day.
I lost the damn thing. Hang on.
Yeah, very bottom of 85.
There we go. Good day, good day.
How do you? How do you?
What, does the cuckold scorn me?
How now, Patroclus?
Good morrow, Ajax.
Ah.
Good morrow.
Aye, and good next day, too.
Exit.
What mean these fellows? No, they're not Achilles?
They passed by strangely. They were used to bend to send their smiles before them to Achilles, to come as humbly as they used to creep to holy up.
What am I, poor of late? 'Tis certain greatness, once fallen out with fortune, must fall out with men too. What the declined is, he shall as soon read in the eyes of others as feel in his own fall. For men, like butterflies, show not their mealy wings but to the summer, and not a man, for being simply man, hath any honor, but honor for those honors that are without him, as place, riches, favor, prizes of accident as oft as merit, which when they fall as being slippery standards, the love that leaned on them as slippery too, do one pluck down another, and altogether die in the fall. But 'tis not so with me. Fortune and I are friends. I do enjoy an ample point all that I did possess, save these men's looks, who do methinks find out something not worth in me such rich beholding as they have often given. Here's Ulysses. I'll interrupt his reading. How now, Ulysses?
Oh, now, great Thetis' son.
What are you reading?
Ah, a strange fellow here. Writes me that man, how dearly ever parted, how much in having, or without or in, cannot make boast to have that which he hath. He feels not what he owes, but by reflection. And when his virtues shining upon others heat them, and they retort that heat again to the first giver.
This is not strange, Ulysses. The beauty that is born here in the face the bearer knows not, but commends itself to others' eyes. Nor doth the eye itself, that most pure spirit of sense, behold itself, not going from itself, but eye to eye opposed, salutes each other with each other's forms. For speculation turns not to itself till it hath traveled, and is mirrored there, where it may see itself. 'Tis not strange at all.
I do not strain it at the position, it is familiar, but at the author's drift, who in his circumstances expressly proves that no man is the lord of anything, though in and of him there is much consisting, till he communicates his parts to others, nor doth he of himself know them for aught, till he behold them formed in the applause where they are extended. Who like an arch reverberate the voice again, or like a gate of steel fronting the sun receives and renders back his figure and his heat. I was much wrapped in this, and apprehended here immediately the unknown Ajax. Heavens, what a man is here, a very horse that has he knows not what, nature, what things there are. most abject in regard and dear in use, what things again most dear in the esteem and poor in worth, now shall we see tomorrow, and act that very chance to throw upon him, Ajax, renowned. Oh heavens, what some men do while some men leave to do, how some men creep in skittish fortune's hall, while others play the idiots in their eyes, how one man eats into another's pride, while pride is feasting in his wantonness, to see these Grecian lords, why, even already, they clap the lubber Ajax on the shoulder, as if his foot were on brave Hector's breast, and great Troy shrinking.
I do believe it. For they passed by me as misers do by beggars, neither gave to me good word nor look. What, are my deeds forgot?
Time hath, my lord, a wallet at his back, wherein he puts alms for oblivion. A great-sized monster of ingratitudes. Those scraps are good deeds past, which are devoured as fast as they are made, forgot as soon as done. Perseverance, dear my lord, keeps honor bright. To have done is to hang quite out of fashion, like a rusty nail in monumental mockery. Take the instant way, for honor travels in a strait so narrow, where one but goes abreast. Keep then the path, for emulation hath 1,000 sons that one by one pursue. If you give way, or hedge aside from the direct forthright, like to an entered tide, they all rush by and leave you hindmost. Or, like a gallant horse fallen in first rank, lie there for pavement to the abject rear, or run and trampled on. Then what they do in present, though less than yours in past, must o'ertop yours, for time is like a fashionable host that slightly shakes his parting guest by the hand, and with his arms outstretched as he would fly, grasps in the comer. The welcome ever smiles, and farewell goes out sighing. Oh, let not virtue seek remuneration for the thing it was, for beauty, wit, high birth, vigor of bone, desert and service, love, friendship, charity, are subjects all to envious and calumniating time. One touch of nature makes the whole world kin. That all with one consent praise newborn gods, though they are made and molded of things past and go to dust, that is a little guilt, more laud than guilt or dusted. The present eye praises the present object, then marvel not, thou great and complete man, that all the Greeks begin to worship Ajax, since things in motion begin to catch the eye, then what not stirs? The cry went out on thee, and still it might, and yet it may again, if thou wouldst not entomb thyself alive, encase thy reputation in thy tent, whose glorious deeds, but in the fields of late made emulous mission mongst the gods themselves, and drave great Mars to faction.
This is my privacy. I have strong reasons.
Against your privacy, the reasons are more potent and heroical. 'Tis known, Achilles, that you are in love with one of Priam's daughters.
That? Known?
Is that a wonder? The Providence that's in a watchful state knows almost every grain of Pluto's gold, finds bottom in the uncomprehensive deeps, keeps place with thoughts, and almost like the gods, do thoughts unveil in their dumb cradles. There is mystery, with whom relation durst never meddle, in the soul of state, which hath an operation more divine than breath or pen can give expressure to. All the commerce that you have had with Troy, as perfectly as ours as yours, my lord, the better would it fit Achilles much to throw down Hector than Polyxena. But it must grieve young Pyrrhus now at home, who that what fame shall in her island sound her trump, and all the Greekish girls shall tripping sing, great Hector's sister did Achilles win, for our great Ajax bravely beat down him. Farewell, my lord. I, as your lover, speak. The fool slides o'er the ice that you should break. Patroclus, haven't you been listening to all this? You should be here, my lord Patroclus.
To this effect, Achilles, have I moved you. A woman impudent and mannish grown is not more loathed than an effeminate man. In a time of action, I stand condemned for this. They think my little stomach to the war and your great love to me restrains you thus. Sweet, rouse yourself, and the weak wanton Cupid shall from your neck unloose his amorous fold, and like a dewlet drop from the lion's mane be shook to airy air.
Shall Ajax fight with Hector?
Aye, and perhaps receive much honor by him.
I see. My reputation is at stake. My fame is shroudly gored.
Oh, then beware, those wounds heal ill that men do give themselves. Omission to do what is necessary seals a commission to a blank of danger, and danger, like an ague, subtly taints even then when we sit idly in the sun.
Go call Thersites hither, sweet Patroclus. I'll send the fool to Ajax and desire him to invite the Trojan lords after the combat to see us here unarmed. I have a woman's longing and an appetite that I am sick withal to see great Hector in his weeds of peace, to talk with him and to behold his visage. Even to my full of view, a labor saved.
A wonder.
Wow.
Ajax goes up and down the field asking for himself.
How so?
He must fight singly tomorrow with Hector, and is so prophetically proud of an heroic cudgeling that he raves in saying nothing.
How can that be?
Well, he stalks up and down like a peacock, astride in the stand, ruminates like a hostess that hath no arithmetic but her brain to set down her reckoning, bites his lip with the politic regard, as who should say, there were wit in his head and 'twould out, and so there is, but it lies as coldly in him as fire in a flint, which will not show without knocking. The man's undone forever, for if Hector break not his neck in the combat, he'll break it himself in vain glory. He knows not me. I said, good morrow, Ajax, and he replies, thanks, Agamemnon. What think you of this man that thinks takes me for the general? Oh, he's grown a very landfish, languageless, a monster. A plague of opinion. A man may wear it on both sides like a leather jerkin.
Thou must be my ambassador to him, Thersites.
Who? I? Why, he'll answer nobody. He professes not answering, speaking as for beggars. He wears his tongue in his arms. I will put on his presents. Let Patroclus make his demands to me. You shall see the pageant of Ajax.
To him, Patroclus. Tell him I humbly desire the valiant Ajax to invite the most valorous Hector to come unarmed to my tent and to procure safe conduct for his person of the magnanimous and most illustrious 6 or 7 times honored captain, general of the Grecian army, Agamemnon, etc. Do this.
Jove bless this great Ajax. I come from the Achilles, who most humbly desires you to invite Hector to his tent, and to procure safe conduct from Agamemnon.
Agamemnon!
Aye, my lord. What say you to it?
God buy you with all my heart.
Your answer, sir?
If tomorrow be a fair day, by 11 o'clock, it will go one way or the other. Howsoever, he shall pay for me ere he has me.
Your answer, sir?
Fare you well with all my here.
Why?
My heart.
Why? But he is not in this tune, is he?
No, but he's he's out of tune thus. What music will be in him when Hector has knocked out his brains? I know not, but I am sure none, unless the fiddler Apollo gets his sinews to make catlings on.
Come, thou shalt bear a letter to him straight.
Let me carry another to his horse, for that's the more capable creature.
My mind is troubled like a fountain stirred, and I myself see not the bottom of it.
Well, would the fountain of your mind were clear again, that I might water an ass in it. I had rather be a chicken a sheep than such a valiant ignorance.
Enter at one door Aeneas with a torch, at another Paris, Deiphobus, Antenor, Diomed the Grecian with torches.
See who? Who's that there?
It is the Lord Aeneas.
Is the prince there in person? Had I so good occasion to live long as you, Prince Paris, nothing but heavenly business should rob my bedmate of my company.
That's my mind too. Good morrow, Lord Aeneas.
A valiant Greek, Aeneas, take his hand. Witness the process of your speech within. You told how Diomed, in a whole week by days, did haunt you in the field.
Health to you, valiant sir, during all questions of the gentle truce. But when I meet you armed, as black defiance as heart can think, or courage execute.
One and the other Diomed embraces. Our bloods are now in calm, and so long health. But when contention and occasion meets, by Jove, I'll play the hunter for thy life with all my force, pursuit, and policy.
And thou shalt hunt a lion that will fly with his face backward to human gentleness. Welcome to Troy. Now by Ancisi's life, welcome indeed. By Venus's hand I swear, no man alive can love in such a sort. The thing he means to kill more excellently.
We sympathize. Jove, let Aeneas live. If to my sword his face be not the glory, 1,000 complete courses of the sun. But in mine emulous honor, let him die with every joint a wound, and that tomorrow.
We know each other well.
We do, and long to know each other worse.
This is the most despitefulest gentle greeting, the noblest hateful love that e'er I heard of. What business, Lord, so early?
I was sent for to the king, but why I know not.
His purpose meets you. It was to bring this Greek to Calchas' house, and there to render him for the enfreed Athenor, the fair Cressida. Let's have your company, and if you please, haste here before us. I constantly do think, or rather call my thought, a certain knowledge. My brother Troylus lodges there tonight. Rouse him, and give him note of our approach. With the whole quality thereof, I fear we shall be much unwelcome.
That I assure you, Troylus, had rather Troy were born to Greece than Cressida born from Troy.
There is no help. The bitter disposition of the time will have it so. On Lord, we'll follow you.
Good morrow, all.
And tell me, noble Diomed, faith tell me true, even in the soul of good fellowship, who in your thoughts merits fair Helen most? Myself or Menelaus?
Both alike. He merits well to have her that doth seek her, not making any scruple of her soiler, with such a hell of pain and world of charge. And you as well to keep her that defend her, not palliating the taste of her dishonor with such a costly loss of wealth and friends. Thee like a pulling cockle would drink up the lees and dregs of a flat-tamed piece. You like a lecher out of whorish loins are pleased to breed out your inheritors. Both merits poised, each weighs no less nor more. But he is he, which heavier for a whore.
You are too bitter to your countrywoman.
She's bitter to her country. Hear me, Paris. For every false drop in her body veins, a Grecian's life hath sunk. For every scruple of her contaminated carrion weight, a Trojan hath been slain. Since she could speak, she has not given so many good words breath. As for her, Greeks and Trojans suffered death.
Fair Diomed, you do as chapmen do, dispraise the things that you desire to buy. But we, in silence, hold this virtue well. Will not command what we intend to sell. Here lies our way.
Exeunt. Enter Troylus and Cressida.
Dear, trouble not yourself, the morn is cold.
And sweet my lord, I'll call mine uncle down. He shall unbolt the gates.
Dear, trouble him not. To bed, sleep kill those pretty eyes, and give a soft attachment to thy senses as infants empty of all thought.
Good morrow then.
Pray thee now to bed.
Are you aweary of me?
Cressida, but that the busy day waked by the lark hath roused the ribald crows, and dreaming night will hide our eyes no longer, I would not from thee.
Night hath been too brief.
Oh, beshrew the witch, with venom white she stays, with wings more momentary, swift than thought. You will catch cold and curse me.
Prithee tarry, you men will never tarry. Oh, foolish Cressida, I might have still held off, and then you would have tarried.
What?
There's one up.
Oh,
All the doors within?
it's your uncle.
Ah, pestilence on him. Now will he be mocking. I shall have such a life.
How now? How now? How good maidenheads? Hear you, maid. Where's my cousin Cressida?
Go hang yourself, you naughty mocking uncle. You bring me to do, and then you flout me too.
To do? To do what? To do what? Let her say what? What have I brought you to do?
Come, beshrew your heart. You'll ne'er be good, nor suffer others.
Alas, poor wretch. A poor Chipatia has not slept tonight. Would he not, a naughty man, let it sleep? A bugbear take him.
Did not I tell you? Would he were knock at the head. Who's that at the door? Good uncle, go and see. My lord, come you again into my chamber. You smile and mock me as if I meant naughtily. Come, you are deceived. I think of no such thing. How earnestly they knock. Pray you come in. Not perhaps Troy have you seen here.
Who's there? What's the matter? Will you beat down the door? How now? What's the matter?
Good morrow, Lord. Good morrow.
Who's there? Oh, my Lord Aeneas. By my troth, I knew you not. What news so early?
Is not Prince Troylus here?
Here? What should he do here?
Come, he is here, my lord. Do not deny him. It doth import him much to speak with me.
Is he here, say you? Just more than I know. I'll be sworn for mine own part I came in late. What should he do here?
Who nay then? Come. You'll do him wrong. Ere you're ware, you'll be so true to him to be false to him. Do not you know of him, but yet go, fetch him hither, go.
What's the matter?
My lord, I scarce have leisure to salute you. My matters so rash. There is at hand Paris your brother, and Diophasus, the Grecian Diomed, and our Antenor delivered to us. And for him forthwith, ere the first sacrifice, within this hour we must give up Diomede's hand, the lady Cressida.
Is it concluded so?
By Priam and the general state of Troy, they are at hand and ready to effect it.
How my achievements mock me. I will go meet them, and my lord Aeneas, we met by chance. You did not find me here.
Good, my lord. The secrets of nature have not more gift in taciturnity.
Exeunt. Enter Pandarus and Cressida.
It's possible. No sooner got but lost. The devil take the Antenor. The young prince will go mad. Oh, plague upon Antenor. I would they had broke his neck.
How now? What's the matter? Who was here? Why sigh you so profoundly? Where's my lord? Gone? Tell me, uncle, what's the matter?
When I rest deep under the earth as I am above.
Oh, the gods! What's the matter?
Prithee, get thee in. Was thou never been born? I knew thou wouldst be his death. Oh, poor gentleman. A plague upon the Antenor.
Good uncle, I beseech you, on my knees, I beseech you, what's the matter?
Thou must be gone, wench. Thou must be gone. Thou art changed for Antenor. Thou must to thy father and be gone from Troylus. Twill be his death. Twill be his pain. He cannot bear it.
Oh, you immortal gods, I will not go.
Thou must.
I will not, uncle. I have forgotten my father. I know no touch of consanguinity. No kin, no love, no blood, no soul. So near me as the sweet Troylus. Oh, you gods divine. Make Cressida's name the very crown of falsehood if she leave Troylus. Time, orcs, and death. Do to this body what extremity you can, but the strong base and building of my love is at the very center of the earth, drawing all things to it. I will go in and weep.
Do.
Tear my bright hair and scratch my praised cheeks, crack my clear voice with sobs and break my heart with sounding Troylus. I will not go from Troy.
Exeunt. Enter Paris, Troilus, Aeneas, Deiphobus, Antenor, and Diomedes.
This great morning, and the hour prefixed of her delivery to this valiant Greek comes fast upon. Good, my brother Troilus, tell you the lady that what she is to do, and Hester to her purpose.
Walk into her house. I'll bring her to the Grecian presently, and to his hand, when I deliver her, think it an altar, and thy brother Troilus a priest, they're offering to it his heart.
I know what is to love, and would, as I shall pity, I could help. Please, you walk in, my lords.
Exeunt. Enter Pandarus and Cressida.
Be moderate, be moderate.
I tell you me of moderation. The grief is fine, full, perfect that I taste, and no less in a sense as strong as that which causeth it. How can I moderate it? If I could temporize with my affection, or brew it to a weak and colder palate, the like ailment, could I give my grief, my love admits no qualifying cross.
Enter Troilus.
No more my grief in such a precious loss.
Here he comes, sweet duck.
Oh, Troylus.
What a pair of spectacles is here. Let me embrace too. Oh, heart, as the goodly saying is. Oh, heart, heavy heart, why sighest thou without breaking? Where he answers again, because thou canst not ease thy smart by friendship nor by speaking. There was never a truer nine. Let us cast away nothing, for we may live to have need of such a verse. We see it. How now, lambs?
Blessed, I love thee in so strange a purity, that the blessed gods is angry with my fancy, more bright in zeal than the devotion which cold lips blow to their deities take thee from me.
Have the gods envy?
Aye, 'tis too plain a case.
And is it true?
A hateful
I must go from Troy.
A hateful.
What, and from Troylus too?
From Troy and Troilus.
possible?
And suddenly, where injury of chance puts back leave-taking, jostles roughly by all time of pause, rudely beguiles our lips of all rejoinder, forcibly prevents our locked embrasures, strangles our dear vows, even in the birth of our own laboring breath, we two, that with so many thousand sighs did buy each other, must poorly sell ourselves with the rude brevity and discharge of our injurious time. Now with a robber's haste crams his rich thievery up, he knows not how. As many farewells as stars in heaven, with distinct breath and consigned kisses to them, he fumbles up a loose adieu and scants us with a single famished kiss, discasting with the salt of broken tears.
Enter Aeneas. Aeneas? Aeneas. My lord, is the lady ready?
Hark your called. Some say that genius so cries. Come to him that instantly must die. Bid them have patience, she shall come anon.
Where are my tears? Rain to lay this wind, or my heart will be blown up by the root.
I must then to the Grecians.
No remedy.
Woeful Cressida mongst them merry Greeks.
When shall we see again? Hear me, my love. Be thou but true of heart.
I true, how now? What wicked deem is this?
Nay, we must not expostulate kindly, for it is parting from us. I speak not, be thou true as fearing thee, for I will throw my glove to death himself that there's no maculation in my heart. But be thou true, say I, to fashion in my sequent protestation. Be thou true, and I will see thee.
We shall be exposed, my lord, to dangers as infinite as imminent, but I'll be true.
And I'll grow friend with danger. Wear this sleeve.
And you this glove. When shall I see you?
I will corrupt the Grecian sentinels to give thee nightly visitation. But yet, be true.
Oh, heavens, be true again?
Hear why I speak it, love. The Grecian youths are full of quality, their loving well composed with gift of nature, flowing and swelling o'er with arts and exercise, how novelties may move, in part with person, alas, a kind of godly jealousy, which I beseech you call a virtuous sin, makes me afraid.
Oh, heavens, you love me not.
Die I, a villain then. In this I do not call your faith in question so mainly as my merit. I cannot sing, nor heal the high lavolt, nor sweeten talk, nor play at subtle games, fair virtues all, to which the Grecians are most prompt and pregnant, but I can tell that in each grace of these there lurks a still and dumb discursive devil that tempts most cunningly. Be not tempted.
Do you think I will?
No, but something may be done that we will not, and sometimes we are devils to ourselves when we will tempt the frailty of our powers, presuming on their changeful potency.
Aeneas? Aeneas? Just nay good, my lord.
Come, kiss, and let us part.
Brother Troylus.
Good brother, come you hither, and bring Aeneas and the Grecian with you.
My lord, will you be true?
Who, I? Alas, it is my vice, my fault. While others fish with craft for great opinion, I with great truth catch mere simplicity. While some with cunning gild their copper crowns, with truth and plainness I do wear mine bare.
Enter the Greeks.
Fear not my truth. The moral of my wit is plain and true. There's all the reach of it. Welcome, Sir Diomed. Here's the lady, which for Antenor we deliver you. At the port, Lord, I'll give her to thy hand, and by the way, possess thee what she is, and treat her fair. And by my soul, fair Greek, if e'er thou stand at mercy of my sword, name Cressida, and thy life shall be as safe as Priam is in Ilion.
Fair Lady Cressida, so please you save the thanks this prince expects. The luster in your eye, heaven in your cheek, pleads your fair visage, and to Diomed you shall be his mistress, and command him wholly.
Grecian, thou dost not use me courteously to shame the seal of my petition towards I praising her. I tell thee, Lord of Greece, she is as far high soaring o'er thy praises as thou, unworthy to be called her servant. I charge thee use her well, even for my charge, for by the dreadful Pluto, if thou dost not, let the great bulk Achilles be thy guard, I'll cut thy throat.
Oh, be not moved, Prince Troylus. Let me by privilege, by my place and message, to be a speaker free. When I am hence, I'll answer to my lust. And know, my lord, I'll nothing do on charge to her own worth. She shall be prized. But that you say be it so, I'll speak it in my spirit, and honor, no.
Come to the port. I'll tell thee, Diomed, this brave shall oft make thee to hide thy head. Lady, give me your hand, and as we walk, to our own selves bend we our needful talk.
Sound trumpet.
Hark! Hector's trumpet!
Let us be ready straight.
Hark, 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 Hector's trumpet.
How have we spent this morning? The prince must think me tardy and remiss that swore to ride before him in the field.
'Tis Troylus' fault. Come to field with him.
Exeunt.
Let us make ready straight.
Yea, with our bridegroom's fresh alacrity, let us address to tend on Hector's heels. The glory of our Troy doth this day lie on his fair worth and single chivalry. Enter Ajax, armed, Achilles, Patroclus, Agamemnon, Menelaus, Ulysses, Nestor, Calchas, etc.
Here art thou an appointment fresh and fair, anticipating time. With starting courage, give with thy trumpet a loud note to Troy. Thou dreadful Ajax, that the appalled air may pierce the head of the great combatant, and hail him hither.
Oh, trumpet, there's my purse. Now crack thy lungs and split thy brazen pipe. Blow, villain, until thy spherid bias cheek outswell the colic of puffed Aquilion. Come, stretch thy chest and let thy eyes spout blood, for thou blowest for Hector.
No trumpet answers.
'Tis but early days.
It's not young Diomed with Calchas' daughter?
Is he? I ken the manner of his gait. He rises on the toe. That spirit of his in aspiration lifts him from the earth.
Is the Lady Cressida?
Even she.
Most dearly welcome to the Greeks, sweet lady.
Our general doth salute you with kiss.
Yet is the kindness but particular. 'Twere better she were kissed in general.
And very courtly counsel. I'll begin. So much for Nestor.
I'll take that winter from your lips, fair lady. Achilles bids you welcome.
I had good argument for kissing once.
But that's no argument for kissing now, for thus pops Paris in his hardiment.
Oh, deadly gall and theme of all our scorns, for which we lose our heads to gild his horns.
The first was Menelaus's kiss, this mine. Patroclus kisses you.
Oh, this is trim.
Paris, and I kiss evermore for him.
I'll have my kiss, sir, lady, by your leave.
In kissing, do you render or receive?
Both take and give.
I'll make my match to live. The kiss you take is better than you give. Therefore, no kiss.
I'll give you boots. I'll give you 3 for 1.
You're an odd man. Give even or give none.
An odd man, lady. Every man is odd.
No, Paris is not, for you know 'tis true that you are odd, and he is even with you.
You fillip me o' the head.
No, I'll be sworn.
It were no match, your nail against his horn. May I, sweet lady, beg a kiss of you?
You may.
I do desire it.
Why beg then?
Why then, for Venus' sake, give me a kiss when Helen is a maid again, and he...
I am your debtor, claim it when 'tis due.
Never is my day, and then a kiss of you.
Lady, a word. I'll bring you to your father.
A woman of quick sense.
Ah, fie upon her. There's a language in her eye, her cheek, her lip, nay, her foot speaks, her wanton sprites look out at every joint and motive of her body. Oh, these encounters so glib of tongue that give coasting welcome ere it comes, and wide unclasp the table of their thoughts for every tickling reader. Set them down for sluttish spoils of opportunity and daughters of the game. Exeunt. Enter all of Troy, Hector, Paris, Aeneas, Helenus, and attendants flourish. The Trojans' trumpet!
Trumpet.
Yonder comes the troop.
Aeneas, are you
Tell
there?
all you state of Greece, what shall be done to him that victory commands? Or do you purpose a victor shall be known? Will you the knight shall to the edge of all extremity pursue each other, or shall be divided by any voice or order of the field? Hector had asked.
Which way would Hector have it?
He cares not. He'll obey conditions.
'Tis done like Hector, but securely done, a little proudly, and great deal despising the knight opposed.
If not Achilles, sir. Oh, I have to talk to myself. I didn't realize that.
Do it.
If not Achilles, sir, what is your name? If not Achilles, nothing. Therefore Achilles, but whate'er know this, in the extremity of great and little, valor and pride excel themselves in Hector, the one almost as infinite as all, the other blank is nothing. Weigh him well, and that which looks like pride is courtesy. This Ajax is half made of Hector's blood, in love whereof half Hector stays at home, half heart, half hand, half Hector comes to seek this blended knight, half Trojan and half Greek. Maiden battle then? Oh, I perceive you.
Don't let me do this.
Here is Sir Diomed. Go, gentle knight. Stand by our Ajax. As you and Lord Aeneas consent upon the order of their fight, so be it. Either to the uttermost or else a breach, the combatants being kin, half stints their strife before their strokes begin.
They would be opposed already, but where is Hector?
What Trojan is that same that looks so heavy?
To this youngest son of Priam, a true knight, they call him Troylus. Not yet mature, yet matchless, firm of words, speaking in deeds and deedless in his tongue, not soon provoked, nor being provoked, soon calmed, his heart and hand both open and both free. For what he has he gives, what thinks he shows, yet gives he not till judgment guide his bounty, nor dignifies an impure thought with breath. Manly is Hector, but more dangerous, for Hector in his blaze of wrath subscribes to tender objects, but he in heat of action is more vindictive than jealous love. They call him Troylus, and on him erect a second hope, as fairly built as Hector. Thus says Aeneas, one that knows the youth, even to his inches, and with a private soul did in great Ilium thus translate him to me. Alarum.
They are in action.
Now, Ajax, hold thine own.
Hector, thou sleepst, awake thee!
His blows are well disposed. There, Ajax.
You must know more.
Princes, enough so please you.
I am not warm yet. Let us fight again.
As Hector pleases.
Why then, will I no more. Thou art great lord, my father's sister's son, a cousin germane to the great Priam seed. The obligation of our blood forbids a gory emulation twixt us twain. Were thy commixtion Greek and Trojan so, that thou couldst say, this hand is Grecian all, and this is Trojan, the sinews of this leg all Greek, and this all Troy. My mother's blood runs on the dexter cheek, and this sinister bounds in my father's. By Jove multipotent, thou shouldst not bear from me a Greekish member, wherein my sword had not impressure made of our rank feud. But the just gods gainsay, that any drop thou borrowedst from thy mother, my sacred aunt, should by my mortal sword be drained. Let me embrace thee, Ajax. By him that thunders, thou hast lusty arms. Hector would have them fall upon him thus. Cousin, all honor to thee.
I thank thee, Hector. Thou art too gentle and too free a man. I came to kill thee, cousin, and bear hence a great addition earned in death.
Not Neoptolemus so mirable, on whose bright crest fame with her loud, oh yes, cries. This is he, could promise to himself a thought of added honor, torn from Hector.
There is expectancy here from both the sides. What further will you do?
We'll answer it. The issue is embracement. Ajax, farewell.
If I might in entreaties find success, as seld I have the chance, I would desire my famous cousin to our Grecian tents.
'Tis Agamemnon's wish, and great Achilles doth long to see unarmed the valiant Hector.
Aeneas, call my brother Troylus to me, and signify this loving interview to the expectors of our Trojan part. Desire them home. Give me thy hand, my cousin. I will go eat with thee, and see your knights.
Enter Agamemnon and the rest.
Great Agamemnon comes to meet us here.
The worthiest of them. Tell me, name by name, but for Achilles, mine own searching eyes shall find him by his large and portly size.
Worthy of arms, as welcome as to one that would be rid of such an enemy. But there's no welcome. Understand more clear what's past and what's to come is strewed with husks and formless ruin of oblivion. But in this extant moment, faith and troth, strained purely from all hollow bias drawing, bids thee with most divine integrity, from heart of very heart, great Hector, welcome.
I thank thee, most imperious Agamemnon.
My well-famed Lord of Troy, no less to you.
Menelaus, let me confirm my princely brother's greeting. You brace of warlike brothers, welcome hither.
Who must we answer?
The noble Menelaus.
Oh, you, my lord, my Mars, his gauntlet thanks. Mock not that I affect the untraded oath. Your quondam wife swears still by Venus' glove. She's well, but bade me not commend her to you.
Near enough now, sir. She's a deadly theme.
Oh, pardon, I offend.
I have, thou gallant Trojan, seen thee oft, laboring for destiny, make cruel way through ranks of Greekish youth. And I have seen thee as hot as pursuits, spur thy Phrygian steed, and seen thee scorning forfeits and subduments, when thou hast hung thy advanced sword in the air, not letting it decline on the declined. That I have said unto my standers by, lo, Jupiter is yonder dealing life. And I have seen thee pause and take thy breath, when that a ring of Greeks have hemmed thee in, like an Olympian wrestling. This have I seen. But this thy countenance still locked in steel I never saw till now. I knew thy grandsire, once fought with him, he was a soldier good, but by great Mars, the captain of us all, never like thee. Let an old man embrace thee, and worthy warrior, welcome to our tents.
'Tis the old Nestor.
Let me embrace thee, good old chronicle. Thou hast so long walked hand in hand with time. Most reverend Nestor, I am glad to clasp thee.
I would my arms could match thee in contention, as they contend with thee in courtesy.
I would they could.
Ah, by this white beard, I'd fight with thee tomorrow. Well, welcome, welcome. I have seen the time.
I wonder now how yonder city stands when we have here her base and pillar by us.
I know your favor, Lord Ulysses, well. Ah, sir, there's many a Greek and Trojan dead since first I saw yourself and Diomed and Ilion on your Greekish embassy.
Sir, I foretold you then what would ensue. My prophecy is but half his journey yet. For yonder walls that pertly front your town, yon towers whose wanton tops do bust the clouds, must kiss their own feet.
I must not believe you. There they stand yet, and modestly, I think. The fall of every Phrygian stone will cost a drop of Grecian blood. The end crowns all, and that old common arbitrator, time, will one day end it.
So to him we leave it. Most gentle and most valiant Hector, welcome. After the general, I beseech you next to feast with me and see me at my tent.
I shall forestall thee, Lord Ulysses, thou. Now, Hector, I have fed mine eyes on thee. I have with exact view perused thee, Hector, and quoted joint by joint.
This Achilles?
I am Achilles.
Stand fair, I prithee, let me look on thee.
Behold thy fill.
Nay, I've done already.
Thou art too brief. I will the second time, as I would by thee, view thee limb by limb.
Oh, like a book of sport thou read me o'er. But there's more in me than thou understand'st. Why dost thou so oppress me with thine eye?
Tell me, you heavens, in which part of his body shall I destroy him, whether there or there or there, that I may give the local wound a name and make distinct the very breach whereout Hector's great spirit flew. Answer me, heavens.
I would discredit the blessed gods, proud man, to answer such a question. Stand again. Thinkst thou to catch my life so pleasantly as to prenominate in nice conjecture where thou wilt hit me dead?
I tell thee yea.
Wert thou the oracle to tell me so, I'll not believe thee. Henceforth guard thee well, for I'll not kill thee there, not there, nor there, nor there, but by the forge that stithied Mars his helm. I'll kill thee everywhere, yea, o'er and o'er. You wisest Grecians, pardon me this brag. His insolence draws folly from my lips, but I'll endeavor deeds to match these words, or I may never—
Do not chase thee, cousin, and you, Achilles, let these threats alone, till accident or purpose bring you to't. You may every day enough of Hector, if you have stomach. The general state, I fear, can scarce entreat you to be odd with him.
I pray you let us see you in the field. We have had pelting wars since you refused the Grecian cause.
Dost thou entreat me, Hector? Tomorrow do I meet thee fell as death. Tonight, all friends.
My hand upon that match.
First, all you peers of Greece, go to my tent. There in the full conviviu. Afterwards, as Hector's leisure and your bounty shall concur together, severally entreat him. Beat down, beat loud the tambourines, let the trumpets blow, that this great soldier may his welcome know.
Exeunt.
My lord Ulysses, tell me, I beseech you, in what place of the field doth Calchas keep?
At Menelaus' tent, most princely Troylus, where Diomed doth feast with him tonight, who neither looks on heaven nor on earth, but gives all gaze and bent of amorous view on the fair Cressida.
Shall I, sweet lord, be bound to thee so much, after we part from Agamemnon's tent, to bring me thither?
You shall command me, sir. As gentle, tell me, of what honor was this Cressida in Troy? Had she no lover there that wails her absence?
Oh, sir, to such a boasting shows their scars. a mock is due. Will you walk on, my lord? She was beloved, she loved, she is and doth, but still sweet love is food for fortune's tooth.
Exeunt. Enter Achilles and Patroclus.
I'll heat his blood with Grecian wine tonight, which with my scimitar, I'll cool tomorrow. Patroclus, let us feast him to the height.
Here comes Thersites.
Thersites.
How now, thou core of envy, thou crusty batch of nature? What's the news?
Why, thou picture of what thou seemest, and idol of idiot worshippers, here's a letter for thee.
From whence, fragment?
Why, thou foolish of fool, from Troy.
Who keeps the tent now?
The surgeon's box, or the patient's wound.
Well said, adversity, and what need these tracks?
Prithee be silent, boy, or the patient. I profit not by thy talk. Thou art thought to be Achilles' male varlet.
Male varlet, you rogue. What's that?
Why, his masculine hooah. Now the rotten diseases of the south, guts gaping, ruptures, catarrhs, loads of gravel at the back, lethargies, cold palsies, and the like. Take and take again such preposterous discoveries.
Why, thou damnable box of envy, thou! What meanst thou to curse thus?
Do I curse thee?
Why, no, you ruinous butt, you whoreson, indistinguishable cur!
No! Why art thou then exasperate, thou idle, immaterial skein of slayed silk, thou green sarcenet flap for sore eye, thou tassel of a prodigal's purse, thou, how the poor world is pestered with such waterflies, diminutives of nature.
Out, go!
Pincheg.
My sweet Patroclus, I am thwarted quite from my great purpose in tomorrow's battle. Here is a letter from Queen Hecuba, a token from her daughter, my fair love, both taxing me and engaging me to keep an oath that I have sworn. I will not break it. Fall, Greeks, fall, fame, honor, or go or stay. My major vow lies here. This I'll obey. Come, Thersites, help to trim my tent. This night in banqueting must all be spent. Away, Patroclus.
With too much blood and too little brain, these two may run mad. But if with too much brain and too little blood they do, I'll be a curator of madmen. Here's Agamemnon, an honest fellow enough, and one that loves quails. But he has not so much brain as earwax, and the goodly transformation of Jupiter, there his brother the bull, the primitive statue and oblique memorial of Cuckold's, a thrifty shoeing horn in a chain hanging at his brother's leg, to what form but that he is, should wit larded with malice, and malice forced with wit, turn him to an ass were nothing. He is both ass and ox, to an ox were nothing. He is both ass and ox, to be a dog, a mule, a cat, a fichu, a toad, a lizard, and an owl, a puttock, or a herring without a roe. I would not care, but to be Menelaus, I would conspire against destiny. Ask me not what I would be if I were not Thersites, for I care not to be the louse of a Lazar. So I were not Menelaus. Ho, hoy day, spirits and fires.
Enter Hector, Ajax, Agamemnon, Ulysses, Nestor, Diomed with lights.
We go wrong. We go wrong.
Ajax.
Somebody take it. Yo, under this, just where we see the light.
I trouble you.
Oh, not a word.
Enter Achilles. Here comes himself to guide you.
Welcome, brave Hector. Welcome, princes all.
So now, fair prince of Troy, I bid good night. Ajax commands the guard to tend on you.
Thanks, and good night to the Greeks general. Good night, my sweet lord, Menelaus.
Sweet draught, sweet quotha, sweet sink, sweet shore.
Good night and welcome both at once to those that go or tarry.
Good night.
Old Nestor tarries, and you too, Diomed. Keep Hector company an hour or two.
I cannot, Lord. I have important business. The tide whereof is now. Good night, great Hector.
Give me your hand.
Ah, follow his torch. He goes to Calchas' tent. I'll keep you company.
Sweet sir, you honor me.
Night.
Hector.
I said so good night.
Achilles.
Come, enter my tent.
That same Diomedes, a false-hearted rogue, most unjust knave. I will no more trust him than when he leers, than I will a serpent when he hisses. He will spend his mouth and promise like Rabbler the hound, but when he performs, astronomers foretell it, that it is prodigious. There will come some change. The sun borrows of the moon when Diomed keeps his word. I will rather leave to see Hector than not to dog him. They say he keeps a Trojan drab and uses the traitor Calchas his tent. I'll after nothing but lechery, all incontinent varlets.
Exeunt, enter Diomed.
What? Are you up here? Oh, speak.
Who calls?
Diomedes Calchas, I think. Where's your daughter?
She comes to you.
Enter Troylus and Ulysses. Stand where the torch may not discover you. Enter Cressida.
Cressida comes forth to him.
Now my charge.
Now, my sweet guardian, hark a word with you.
He is so familiar.
He will sing any man at first sight. Thersites, you're still here watching all this.
Thank you. Next week we'll get it.
She will sing.
And any man that find her, he can take her life. She's noted.
You remember?
Yes, Calchas is still here too. Or maybe that's Cressida. Remember, yes.
Nay, but do then, and let your mind be coupled with your words.
What should she remember?
List.
Sweet honey Greek, tempt me no more to folly.
Roguery.
Nay then.
I'll tell you what.
Foe, come, tell a pin. You are a forsworn.
In faith, I cannot. What would you have me do?
A juggling trick to be secretly open.
What did you swear you would bestow on me?
I prithee do not hold me to mine oath. Bid me do not anything but that sweet Greek.
Good night.
Hold patience.
How now, Trojan?
Diomed.
No, good night. I'll be your fool no more.
I better must.
Hark one word in your ear.
Oh, plague and madness.
You are moved, Prince. Let us depart, I pray you, lest your displeasure should enlarge itself to wrathful terms. This place is dangerous, the time right deadly. I beseech you, go.
Behold, I pray you.
Nay, good my lord, go off. You flow to great distraction. Come, my lord.
Pray thee stay.
You have no patience, come.
I pray thee stay. By hell and hell torments, I will not speak a word.
So good night.
Nay, but you pardon anger.
Doth that grieve thee, a withered truth?
Why, how now, Lord?
I will be patient.
Guardian, why Greek?
Foe, adieu, you palter.
In faith I do not. Come hither once again.
You shake, my lord, at something. Will you go? You will break out.
She strokes his cheek.
Come.
Stay, by Jove. I will not speak a word. There is between my will and all offenses a guard of patience. Stay a little while.
How the devil luxury with his fat rump and potato figure tickles these together. Fry, lechery, fry!
But will you then?
Faith, I will, lo, never trust me else.
Give me some token for the surety of it.
I'll fetch you one.
Exit. You have sworn patience.
Fear me not, sweet lord. I will not be myself, nor have cognition of what I feel. I am all patience.
Enter.
Fetch! Now! Now! Now!
Here, Diomed, keep this sleeve.
O beauty, where is thy faith?
Lord.
I will be patient outwardly, I will.
You look upon that sleeve? Behold it well. He loved me. Oh, false wench, give it to me again.
Whose was it?
It is no matter now, I have it again. I will not meet with you tomorrow night. I prithee, Diomed, visit me no more.
Now she sharpens. Well said, Whetstone.
I shall have it.
What, this?
Aye, that.
Oh, all you gods, oh pretty, pretty pledge, thy master now lies thinking in his bed of thee and me, and sighs and takes my glove, and gives thee memorial dainty kisses to it as I kiss thee.
Nay, do not snatch it from me.
He that takes that breaks my heart withal.
I had your heart before. This follows it.
I did swear patience.
You shall not have it, Diomed. Faith, you shall not. I'll give you something else.
I will have this. Whose was it?
It is no matter.
Come, tell me whose it was.
'Twas one that loved me better than you will. But now you have it, take it.
Whose was it?
By all Diana's waiting women yond, and by herself I will not tell you whose.
Tomorrow will I wear it on my elm, and grieve his spirit that dares not challenge it.
Wert thou with the devil and worsted on my horn, it should be challenged.
Well, well, 'tis done. 'Tis past, and yet it is not. I will not keep my word.
Well then, farewell. Thou shalt not mock Diomed again.
You shall not go. One cannot speak a word, but it straight starts you.
I do not like this fooling.
Nor I, by Pluto, but that likes not me, pleases me best.
What shall I come? The hour.
I come, oh Jove, do I come. I shall be plagued.
Farewell to then.
Good night. I prithee come. Troylus, farewell, one eye yet looks on thee, but with my heart the other eye doth see. Ah, poor our sex, this fault in us I find. The error of our eye directs our mind. What error leads must err. Oh, then conclude. Minds swayed by eyes are full of turpitude.
A proof of strength she could not publish more, unless she say, my mind is now turned whore.
All's done, my lord.
It is.
Why stay we then?
Make a recordation to my soul of every syllable that here was spoke. But if I tell how these two did co-act, shall I not lie in publishing a truth? Sith yet there is a credence in my heart, an esperance so obstinately strong, that doth invert that test of eyes and ears, as if these organs had deceptious functions, created only to calumniate. Was Cressida there?
I cannot conjure, Trojan.
She was not, sure.
Most sure she was.
Why? My negation hath no taste of madness.
Nor mine, my lord. Cressida was here but now.
Let it not be believed. For womanhood, think we had mothers. Do we not give advantage to stubborn critics, apt without a theme, for deprivation, to square the general sex by Cressida's rule? Rather think this is not Cressida.
What hath she done, prince, that can soil our mothers?
Nothing at all, unless that this were she.
Will he swagger himself out on his own eyes?
Is she? No, this Diomed's Cressida. If beauty have a soul, this is not she. If souls guide vows, if vows are sanctimony, if sanctimony be the god's delight, if there be a rule in unity itself, this is not she. Oh, madness of discourse! That cause sets up with and against thyself by foul authority, where reason can revolt, without perdition and loss assume all reason without revolt. This is and is not Cressida within my soul. There doth conduce a fight of this strange nature that a thing inseparate divides more wider than the sky and earth. And yet this spacious breadth of this division admits no orifice for a point as subtle as Ariadne's broken woof to enter. Instance, strong as Pluto's gates, Cressida is mine, tied with the bonds of heaven. Instance, strong as heaven itself, the bonds of heaven are slipped, dissolved, and loosed, and with another knot 5-finger tie, the fractions of her faith, orts of her love, the fragments, scraps, bits, and greasy relics of her ore-eaten faith are bound to Diomed?
May worthy Troylus be half attached with that which here his passion doth express?
Aye, Greek, and that shall be divulged well in characters, as red as Mars and heart, inflamed with Venus. Never did young man fancy with so eternal and so fixed a soul. Heart Greek! As much as I do Cressida love, so much by weight, I hate her Diomed. That sleeve is mine. That heel bare in his helm. Were it a cast composed by Vulcan's skill, my sword should bite it, not the dreadful spout. With shipmen do the hurricano call, constringed in mass by the almighty fen, shall dizzy with more clamor Neptune's ear in his descent, than shall my prompted sword, falling on Diomed.
He'll tickle it for his concubine.
Oh, Cressid, false Cressid, false, false, false. Let all untruths stand by thy stated name, and they'll seem glorious.
Oh, contain yourself. Your passion draws ears hither. Enter Aeneas.
I've been seeking you this hour, my lord. Hector by this, arming him in Troy. Ajax your guard states to conduct you home.
Have with you, prince, my courteous lord adieu. Farewell, revolted fair, and Diomed. Stand fast to bear a castle on thy head.
I'll bring you to the gates.
Accept distracted thanks.
Exit Troylus, Aeneas, and Ulysses.
Would I could meet that rogue Diomed, I would croak like a raven. I would bode. Patroclus will give me anything for the intelligence of this whore. The parrot will not do more for an almond than for a commodious drab. Lechery, still wars and lechery. Nothing else holds fashion. A burning devil take them.
Enter Hector and Andromache.
My wife is quiet tonight.
Andromache, Vicky, you were here just a moment ago. Aren't you, are you there? Okay. Alex, your video's still on.
I'm not in the rest of this. Do you want me to read it?
Oh, no, I think she's here. I think she's made it. So
bye.
Go ahead, Vicky.
When was my lord so much urgently tempered to stop his ears against admonishment? Unarm, and do not fight today.
You train me to offend you. Get you gone by the everlasting gods. I'll go.
My dreams will sure prove ominous to the day.
No more, I say.
Enter Cassandra.
Where is my brother? You had me locked out.
I'm sorry, I just had to stop it at one point. Sorry.
Here, sister, armed and bloody in intent, consort with me to loud and dear petition. Pursue we on our knees, for I have dreamt of bloody turbulence, and this whole night hath nothing been but shapes and forms of slaughter.
Oh, 'tis true.
Oh, bid my trumpet sound.
No notes of Sally, for the heavens, sweet brother.
Be gone, I say. The gods have heard me swear.
The gods are deaf to hot and peevish vows. They are polluted offerings, more abhorred than spotted livers in the sacrifice.
Oh, be persuaded, do not count it holy. To hurt by being just, it is as lawful, for we would give much to as violent thefts and robs in the behalf of charm.
It is the purpose that makes strong the vow, but vows to every purpose must not hold. Oh, don't do it, sweet Hector.
Hold you still, I say. Mine honor keeps the weather of my fate. Life every man holds dear, but the dear man holds honor far more precious dear than life.
Enter Troylus.
How now, young man? Meanst thou to fight today?
Cassandra, call my father to persuade.
Exit Cassandra.
No faith, young Troilus. Doff thy harness, youth. I'm today in vain of chivalry. Let grow thy sinews till their knots be strong, and tempt not yet the brushes of the war. Unarm thee, go, and doubt thou not, brave boy, I'll stand today for thee and me and Troy.
Brother, you have a vice of mercy in you, which benefits a lion than a man.
What vice is that? Good Troilus, chide me for it.
When many times the captive Grecian falls, even in the fan and wind of your fair sword, you bid them rise and live.
'Tis fair play.
Fool's play. By heaven, Hector.
How now? How now?
For the love of all the gods, let's leave the hermit pity with our mothers. And when we have our armors buckled on, the venomed vengeance ride upon our swords. Spur them to ruthful work. Rain them from the roof.
Fie, savage, fie.
Hector, then 'tis wars.
Troilus, I would not have you fight today.
Who should withhold me? Not fate, obedience, nor the hand of Mars, beckoning with fiery truncheon my retire. Not Priamus and Hecuba on her knees, their eyes or gold with recourse of tears, nor you, my brother, with your true sword drawn opposed to hinder me, should stop my way, but by my ruin.
Enter Priam and Cassandra.
Lay hold upon him, Priam, hold him fast. He is thy crutch. Now if thou loose thy stray, thou on him leading, and all Troy on thee, fall all together.
Come, Hector, come, go back. Thy wife hath dreamt, thy mother hath had visions, Cassandra doth foresee, and I myself am like a prophet suddenly enwrapped to tell thee that this day is ominous. Therefore come back.
Aeneas is afield, and I do stand engaged to many Greeks, even in the faith of valor, to appear this morning to them.
Aye, but thou shalt not go.
I must not break my faith. You know me dutiful. Therefore, dear sir, let me not shame respect, but give me leave to take that course by your consent and voice, which you do here forbid me, royal Priam.
Oh, Priam, yield not to him.
Andromache, I'm offended with you. Upon the love you bear me, get you in.
This foolish, dreaming, superstitious girl makes all these bodements.
Oh, farewell, dear Hector. Look how thou diest. Look how thy eye turns pale. Look how thy wounds doth bleed at many vents. Hark how Troy roars, how Hecuba cries out, how poor Andromache shrills her dolor forth. Behold distraction, frenzy, and amazement, like witless antiques, one another meet, and all cry, Hector, Hector's dead, oh Hector!
Away, away!
Farewell! Yes, soft. Hector, I take my leave. Thou doest thyself and all our Troy deceived.
Exit.
You are amazed, my liege, at her exclaim. Go in and cheer the town, wheel forth and fight. Do deeds of praise, and tell you them at night.
Farewell. The gods with safety stand about thee.
They're at it. Hark. Proud Diomed, believe I come to lose my arm or win my sleeve.
Enter Pandarus.
Do you hear, my lord? Do you hear?
What now?
Here's a letter come from yon poor girl.
Let me read.
Orson rascally tisk, so troubles me. And the foolish fortune of this girl, and what one thing, what another, that I shall leave you one of these days. I have a rheum in mine eye, too, and such an ache in my bones, that unless a man were cursed, I can now tell what to think on it. What says she there?
Words, mere words, no matter from the heart. The effects doth operate another way. Go wind to wind, their turn and change together. My love with words and errors still she'd feed, but edifies another with her deeds.
What? But hear you.
Hence, brother lackey, ignominy and shame pursue thy life, and live I with thy name.
Alarum, exeunt. Enter Thersites in excursion.
Now they're clapper-clawing one another. I'll go look on. Oh, that dissembling abominable varlet Diomede, he has got that same scurvy, doting, foolish young knave sleeve of Troy there in his helm. I would fain see them meet, that same young Trojan ass that loves the whore there might send that Greekish whore, masterly villain with the sleeve, back to the dissembling, luxurious drab of a sleeveless errant. Oh, the other side, the policy of those crafty, swearing rascals that stole old mouse-eaten, dry-cheese Nestor, and that same dog-fox Ulysses is not proved worth a blackberry. They set me up in policy, that mongrel cur Ajax against that dog of as bad a kin Achilles. And now is the cur Ajax prouder than the cur Achilles, and will not arm today. Whereupon the Grecians begin to proclaim barbarism, and policy grows into an ill opinion. Soft, here comes sleeve and t'other.
Fly not, for shouldst thou take the river's Styx, I would swim after.
Thou dost miscall retire. I do not fly, but advantageous care withdrew me from the odds multitude. Have at thee.
Hold
thy whore, Grecian. Now for thy whore, Trojan. Now the sleeve.
Enter Hector.
What art thou, Greek? Art thou for Hector's match? Art thou of blood and honor?
Oh. No, I am a rascal. No, a scurvy railing knave, a very filthy rogue.
I do believe thee. Live.
God a mercy that thou wilt believe me, but a plague break thy neck for frightening me. What's become of the wenching rogues? I think they have swallowed one another. I would laugh at that miracle, yet in a sort, the tree eats itself. You seek, I'll seek them.
Go, my servant, take thou Troylus' horse, present the fair steed to my lady Cressida. Fellow, commend my service to her beauty. Tell her I have chastised the amorous Troyan, and am her knight by proof.
I go, my lord.
Enter Agamemnon.
Renew the fierce Polydamas hath beat down Menon. Bastard Margorelon hath Dorius prisoner, and stands Colossus wise, waving his beam upon the past courses of the kings. Epitropus and Cetus. Polixenes is slain, Amphimachus and those deadly hurt. Patroclus ta'en or slain, and Palamedes sore hurt and bruised. The dreadful Sagittary applauds our numbers. Haste we, Diomed, to reinforcement, or we shall perish all.
Enter Nestor. Nestor.
I'm here. Bear Patroclus' body to Achilles, and bid the snail-paced Ajax arm for shame. There is 1,000 Hectors in the field. Now here he fights on Galath his horse, and there lacks work. Anon he's there afoot, and there they fly or die like scaled skulls before the belching whale. Then is he yonder and there, the straying Greeks, ripe for his age, fall down before him like the mower's swath. Here, there, and everywhere he leaves and takes, dexterity so obeying appetite, that what he will he does, and does so much that proof is called impossibility.
Enter Ulysses. Oh, courage, princes! Great Achilles is arming, weeping, cursing, vowing vengeance. Patroclus' wounds have roused his drowsy blood, together with his mangled myrmidons that noseless, handless, hacked and shipped come to him, crying, on Hector! Ajax hath lost a friend and foams at mouth, and he is armed and at it, roaring for Troylus, who hath done today mad and fantastic execution, engaging and redeeming of himself with such a careless force and forceless care, as if that luck, in very spite of cunning, bade him win all. Enter Ajax.
Troylus, thou coward, Troylus!
Aye, there.
So, we draw together.
Achilles. Achilles. Enter Achilles.
Achilles.
It's here. You're muted, Achilles.
Where is this Hector? Come, come, thou boy queller, show thy face. Know what it is to meet Achilles angry. Hector! Where's Hector? I will none but Hector.
Exit. Enter Ajax.
Troylus, thou coward Troylus, show thy head!
Troylus! I say, where's Troylus?
What wast thou?
I would correct him.
Were I the general, thou shouldst have my office for that correction. Troylus, I say! What? Troylus!
Enter Troylus.
O traitor Diomed, turn thy false face, thou traitor, and pay thy life thou owest me for my horse.
Art thou there?
Come, I'll fight with him alone.
Here's my
Stand,
prize.
Diomed.
Here's my prize I will not look upon.
Come both, you codging Greeks, I have it, you both.
Exit Troylus. Enter Hector.
Troylus! Oh, Troylus! Well fought, my youngest brother.
Enter Achilles.
Now do I see thee. Have at thee, Hector.
Pause if thou wilt.
I do disdain thy courtesy, proud Troyden. Be happy that my arms are out of use. My rest and negligence befriends me now, but thou anon shall hear of me again. Then, till when, go seek thy fortune.
Exit.
Fare thee well. I would have been much more a fresher man than I expected thee. How now, my brother?
Enter Troylus.
Ajax hath ta'en Aeneas. Shall it be? No. By the flame of yonder glorious heaven, he shall not carry him. I'll be taken too, or bring him off. Fate, hear me what I say. I reek not, though thou end my life today.
Exit. Enter one in armor.
Stand, thou Greek. Thou art a goodly mark. No, wilt thou not? I like thy armor well. I'll frush it and unlock the rivets all, but I'll be master of it. Wilt thou not, beast abide? Well, then fly on. I'll hunt thee for thy hide.
Exit. Enter Achilles with myrmidons.
Come here about me, you my myrmidons. Mark what I say. Attend me where I will. Strike not a stroke, but keep yourselves in breath. And when I have the bloody Hector found, impale him with your weapons round about. In fellest manner, execute your arm. Follow me, sirs, and my proceedings it is decreed, Hector the Great must die.
Exit. Enter Thersites, Menelaus, and Paris.
The cuckold and the cuckold maker are at it. Now bull, now dog, lo, Paris, lo. Now my double hen sparrow, lo, Paris, lo. The bull has the game. Where horns, ho?
Exit Paris and Menelaus. Enter Bastard.
Turn, slave, and fight.
What art thou?
A bastard son of Priam's.
I'm a bastard too. I love bastards. I'm a bastard begot, bastard instructed, bastard in mind, bastard in valor, in everything illegitimate. One bear will not bite another, and wherefore should one bastard? Take heed, this quarrel's most ominous to us if the scene of a whore fight for a whore. He tempts judgment. Farewell, bastard.
The devil take thee, coward!
Exeunt. Enter Hector.
Most putrefied core, so fair without. Thy goodly armor thus hath cost thy life. Now is my day's work done. I'll take good breath. Rest, sword. Thou hast thy fill of blood and death.
Achilles and his myrmidons.
Look, Hector. How the sun begins to set. How ugly night comes breathing at his heels, even with the veil and darkening of the sun. To close the day up, Hector's life is done.
I am unarmed. Forego this vantage, Greek.
Strike, fellows, strike! This is the man I seek. So, Ilion, fall thou. Now, Troy, sink down. Here lies thy heart, thy sinews, and thy bone. On, Myrmidons, cry you all amain. Achilles hath the mighty Hector slain. Hark, a retreat upon our Grecian part.
The Trojan trumpets
sound alike, my lord.
The dragon wing of night o'erspreads the earth, and stickler like the army separates. My half-supped sword that frankly would have fed, pleased with this dainty bed, thus goes to bed. Come, tie his body to my horse's tail. Along the field I will the Trojan trail.
Exeunt, sound retreat, shout. Enter Agamemnon, Ajax, Menelaus, Nestor, Diomed, and the rest marching.
Hark! Hark! What shout is that?
Peace, drums.
Achilles! Achilles! Hector slain! Achilles!
The bird is Hector slain, and by Achilles.
If it be so, yet bragless let it be. Great Hector was a man as good as he.
March patiently along. Let one be sent to pray Achilles see us at our tent. If in his death the gods have us befriended, great Troy is ours, and our sharp wars are ended.
Exeunt. Enter Aeneas, Paris, Antenor, and Phoebus. Aeneas. Aeneas, we're at 510, top of page 1.
Tempo. Yet are we masters of the field, never go home. Here starve we out the night.
Enter Troylus.
Hector is slain.
Hector, the gods
forbid.
He's dead. And at the murderer's horse's tail, in beastly sort, dragged through the shameful field. Frown on, you heavens, affect you rage with speed. Sit gods upon your thrones and smile at Troy. I say at once, let your brief plagues be mercy, and linger not our sure destructions on.
My lord, you do discomfort all the host.
You understand me not, that tell me so. I do not speak of flight, of fear, of death, but dare all imminence that gods and men address their dangers in. Hector is gone. Who shall tell Priam so? Or Hecuba? Let him that will a screechal eye be called go into Troy and say, there, Hector's dead. There is a word will Priam turn to stone, make wells and Niobes of the maids and wives, cool statues of the youth, and in the word, scar Troy out of itself. But march your way. Hector's dead. There is no more to say. Stay yet, you vile, abominable tents, thus proudly piped upon our virgin plains. Let Titan rise as early as he dare. I'll through and through you, and thou, great-sized coward, no space of earth shall sunder our two hates. I'll haunt thee like a wicked conscience still, that moldeth goblins swift as frenzy's thoughts. Strike a free march to Troy, with comfort go. Hope of revenge shall hide our inward woe.
But hear you,
Hence, broker, lacquer, ignominy, and shame, pursue thy life, and live I with thy name.
A goodly medicine for mine aching bones. Oh, world, world, world. Thus is the poor agent despised. Oh, traitors and bawds, how earnestly are you set a work, and how ill requited. Why should our endeavor be so desired, and the performance so loathed? What verse for it? What instant for it? Let me see. Full merrily the humble bee doth sing, till he has lost his honey and his sting.
And being once subdued in armed tale, sweet honey and sweet notes together failed. Good traders in the flesh, set this in your painted clothes. As many as be here of Pandar's hall, your eyes out, weep out at Pandar's fall. Or if you cannot weep, yet give some groans, though not for me, yet for your aching bones. Brothers and sisters of the hold door trade, some 2 months hence my will shall here be made. It should be now, but that my fear is this, some galled goose of Winchester would hiss. Till then, I'll sweat and seek about for eases, and at that time, bequeath you my diseases.
All right. Yay. Good job, everybody. Thank you. Thank you all very much. I know this is a long one, so if people need to go, but really excellent work. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michael, for putting this together. Thank you.
11:11. We finished at 11:11.
Make a wish.
Yes. Well, thanks so much. Excellent work. And yeah, it's a little like, what a great line to end with. And at that time, bequeath you my diseases.
I was going to be cheap and hold my mask up, but it's about syphilis. It's not about a pandemic.